publicly, in my view, was lawyerly.
So Democratic Senator Ron Wyden wants Kushner to testify publicly. President Trump is still upset Attorney General Sessions recused himself from the Russia campaign meddling probe. He referred to Sessions yesterday in a tweet as beleaguered, and the AP reports the president has spoken to his advisors about the possibility of firing the Attorney General. He heard people crying and asking for water, then he passed out. That's what one Mexican survivor says about being crammed into a tractor trailer that was found outside a Walmart in San Antonio Sunday. 10 people died. More than a dozen other illegal immigrants suffered heat stroke and other life-threatening conditions. The driver, James Bradley, was charged in court yesterday. Bradley says he did not know that there were people crammed inside that tractor trailer. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
67 degrees, mostly clear skies. At 5:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott in your Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles is home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Governor Rauner summoning lawmakers to Springfield on Wednesday for a special session on school funding. As AM 560's David Stewart reports, Rauner's stare down with Democrats around the state continues.
Democrats defied Governor Rauner's deadline and did not send him their school funding reform bill, from which Rauner wants to cut what he calls a Chicago Teachers Union bailout.
There's no reason that one single child in Illinois should lose a day of education over this pension bailout issue.
But Mayor Emanuel says the governor has a chance to get most of what he wants.
He's never explained what he disagrees with, and 90% is really good. You don't get that a lot in your business life, and you don't get that a lot in public life.
Many schools couldn't open without action on a funding bill. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
The flooded Rock and Mississippi rivers are adding counties to Illinois' disaster list. Governor Rauner's office yesterday naming Rock Island, Henry, Whiteside, Carroll, Joe Davies, Lee, Ogle, and Stevenson counties as disaster areas because of recent flooding and rain. An investigation is underway this early morning following a shooting in South suburban Country Club Hills. Two were found shot late last night in a home in the 2300 block of Provincetown Drive. One person is dead, 7 others hurt following a crash on Lakeshore Drive. Police say a Chevy was traveling south near Lawrence Avenue when it crossed the median. It slammed into 3 other vehicles heading north. The woman driving the Chevrolet died while the rest of the victims have been sent to hospitals. Multiple lanes on Lakeshore Drive were shut down after the accident. An investigation continues following a crash near southwest suburban Beecher that killed a pregnant mother and her 1-year-old son. Lindsay Schmidt was driving yesterday when police say her vehicle was struck by a pickup that blew a stop sign at Corning Road and Yates Avenue in Washington Township. The mother's 2 other young sons remain hospitalized in critical condition. With at least 6 killed and 35 others wounded over the weekend, the number of homicides in Chicago continues to outpace last year. Tribune reports there have been at least 391 homicides so far this year, 4 more than last year, which saw a 20-year high. Chicago police say they're searching for the gunman who wounded an officer last week following an attempt at a store robbery. 2 other men are being held in the botched robbery from Friday of a cell phone store. 20-year-old Donzel Grant and 24-year-old Cortez Harrington have been charged. They went before a judge yesterday. Mayor Emanuel facing stiff criticism for using $55 million in TIF funding to renovate Navy Pier. Crane Chicago Business and the BGA reported last week the funds were originally meant to finance a hotel near McCormick Place. Several aldermen also joined in the chorus, blasting Emanuel yesterday, claiming that decision was never discussed. Federal jurors in Chicago say the pharmaceutical company AbbVie should pay $150 million to an Oregon man for misrepresenting the risks of a low testosterone treatment. The jury arrived at that figure for punitive damages after a 3-week trial stemming from Jesse Mitchell's claims that the androgel drug caused his heart attack in 2012 when he was 49. But jurors did not find the company was negligent or that androgel lacked appropriate warnings. AbbVie continues to argue that Mitchell had smoked had high blood pressure and other risk factors that would have caused that heart attack. Miguel Gonzalez fired a 7 1/3 inning gem, 1-run ball. White Sox beat the rival Cubs 3-1 at Wrigley. Adam Engel, the go-ahead solo home run in the 6th inning. Bears holding the first practices of training camp this week. Chicago will be without pads on Thursday. Britain's Adam Peaty set a world record of 26.10 seconds in the preliminaries today of the men's 50 breaststroke at the World Swimming Championships. He won gold in the 100 breaststroke on Monday. The news, a service of Geico Chicago. Hey, Chicago, Geico now has even more ways to save you money. Your local Geico agent ready to deliver the personal service you need, savings you love. 773-582-AUTO. 773-582-AUTO for your local Geico agent. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This summer, everybody is talking about one person. And on August 22nd, we want to hear what you have to say about President Donald Trump. Join AM 560's Joe Walsh for the Summer of Trump as he welcomes Hugh Hewitt and Guy Benson to the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Join the debate as they discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly moments of the Trump administration. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/summer. Sponsored in part by Storlock and by Best Dental Group.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's absolutely amazing that the combination of these capsules improves your health. It does tell you the value of food and nutrition.
I actually can feel a difference. I really can.
I love the product. It's wonderful. I can't live without it.
It's really helping me. Every time I take it, my body says, thank you.
This is the first winter that I went through that I didn't get a cold.
I love my fruits and veggies. I'm a line dancer, and I just turned 78, and it has made a big difference in my stamina and just my overall well-being, and I have so enjoyed them. I just love taking them and what they do for me.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Continental Audi of Naperville is out to sell 100 new Audis in July. So now is the time for you to take advantage of some great deals during the Summer of Audi sales event. And with Continental Audi of Naperville, you get a different kind of buying experience. Straight talk and no hassle. Plus, you get a huge selection of Audis to choose. For a limited time, lease an Audi A4 Premium for $429 a month. Or lease an Audi Q3 Premium for $419 a month. Drive an Audi and feel the difference. Drive an Audi from Continental and experience the difference in an exceptional dealer. Experience the Continental Audi difference, where smiles are standard equipment. ContinentalAudi.com or Continental Audi in Naperville on Aurora Avenue and Ogden Avenue. Continental Audi of Naperville is out to sell 100 new Audis in July, and they want you to help them meet their goal. 36 month lease, 3115 due and signing, plus tax, title, license, and acquisition fee extra. Must qualify through Audi Financial Services. See dealer for details.
5:09, a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center this morning. Here's Jim Telemonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. In Elmhurst, North Avenue is closed at York Road. There's a crash blocking that intersection. Tri-State Tollway southbound traffic is stop and go. 159th to Dixie Highway. The roadway is blocked with a crash only the right shoulder. Lost traffic to get by. On Kennedy, the exit to southbound Cumberland is reopened after an overnight closure. Northbound I-55 stop and go Weber to Veterans Parkway. Construction is clearing out of the 2 left lanes. The outbound Stevenson, Slow County line to Cass with work in the 2 left lanes. That's also wrapping up. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, the exit to the Stevenson is open again. Port Barrington, Rawson Bridge Road remains closed. Robertson Tuxedo due to flooding. River Road and McHenry is still closed. Fernview and McHenry Dam Road. And River Grove southbound River Road is closed Belmont to First Avenue. It's reopened northbound. The other flood-related closures, well, they've lifted. Traffic is a service of Back to School Illinois. Back to School Illinois provides school supplies for children in need. You can help by making a donation at any neighborhood currency exchange or at b2si.org. Back to School Illinois, working to improve educational opportunities for Illinois children. b2si.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Low humidity today with partial sunshine, high 81, mainly clear night, low 66. Tomorrow, more humid with sun and some clouds, high 88. Then at night, couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm late at night, which could bring flash flooding and damaging winds, low 72. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
New temperatures from O'Hare this morning, 63, and along the lakefront, 68. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 5 p.m. on AM 560, explore the wonderful world of wine with hosts James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And President Trump yesterday making his, I guess you could say it's his final pitch for Obamacare replace. John McCain, as you heard from Mike Scott's newscast, is coming back today for the vote to proceed with debate, as much as 20 hours of debate on the topic.
So what exactly are they voting on? A repeal and replace or just a repeal? Because my head was spinning listening to all the options.
They're voting to move debate on the topic. That's what it's a procedural vote, but they still need 50. And here's the what Trump did yesterday, which I actually like. I think this isn't done enough by Republicans. The human costs of bad public policy. And what he assembled were a bunch of individuals whose lives have been worsened because of Obamacare and the higher premiums, the fewer choices, the
victims of
lack of
victims of Obamacare.
Yeah, that's
but of course
what it was.
The left-wing media said, look at all the white people surrounded by President Trump. That's what they focused on.
Yeah,
not the message or what he was, the point was, but that.
Those are the same people that focus on all the white people at Dunkirk. Here's Trump making his case on Obamacare replace.
The Senate bill eliminates the painful individual mandate. It eliminates the job-killing employer mandate, repeals other burdensome taxes, and will significantly lower Americans' premiums. It will stabilize collapsing health insurance markets and give Americans far more choice and far more flexibility. The Senate bill protects coverage for pre-existing conditions, and you don't hear this from the Democrats. They like to tell you just the opposite, and they didn't even know the bill. They run out, they say death, death, death. Well, Obamacare is death. That's the one that's death. And besides that, it's failing, so you won't have it anyway. It dramatically expands popular health savings accounts. It provides tax credits so Americans can purchase a private plan that is right for them and their families. It devotes substantial resources to fight the opioid, and this is a tremendous problem.
Yeah, so the pushback where he mad-libs a little bit off script and talks about the Democrats saying repealing Obamacare, replacing it with this is death, 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 people will die, people will die. This is the screeching of the left in support of single payer, which is ultimately their aim. And he kind of turns it back on them. I'd love to have him elaborate a little bit more, but I like the combativeness regardless. And it's, look, the left is freedom is slavery. That's the Orwellian nature of the left in the modern context. And Trump is essentially saying it's the state and this gambit called Obamacare that actually leaves you wanting, leaves you in a lurch. And here are these victims assembled to give human form to what I'm contending. So he said that. That was the sentiment about the replacement legislation, and here's the sentiment directed at Republican senators.
They want to forget about the countless Americans they've hurt and the many that they are continuing to hurt every day by refusing to help us replace Obamacare. For the last 7 years, Republicans have been united in standing up for Obamacare's victims. Remember, repeal and replace, repeal and replace. They kept saying it over and over again. Every Republican running for office promised immediate relief from this disastrous law. We as a party must fulfill that solemn promise to the voters of this country to repeal and replace what they've been saying for the last 7 years. But so far, Senate Republicans have not done their job in ending the Obamacare nightmare. They now have a chance, however, to hopefully fix what has been so badly broken for such a long time, and that is through replacement of a horrible disaster known as Obamacare.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 646-36DA, turnkey.pro text line. Is that where you ascribe most of the blame, as Trump did, to GOP senators who have not acted consistent with their promise, at least with the exception of Susan Collins?
And Rand Paul. I mean, how is everyone going to, people that were holdouts, what has happened between when we left for Haiti and came back that it changed their minds? To even repeal or even to replace?
Well,
that's why I think this might all be smoke and mirrors, and then you have the dramatic return of Senator McCain, which is great because I love Senator John McCain. I know, and I think he's an excellent man, a wonderful war hero, and I think it's brave that he's coming back so soon after getting a brain tumor removed. And you know, I don't know if this is going to be effective or is this just a show?
Well,
or is President Trump at his last straw because he not only brought it up at the White House, but he brought it up at the Boy Scouts Jamboree, you know, saying you guys better get in line, and he even threatened, you know, HHS Secretary Tom Price by saying you're going to get this done right or you'll get fired. And then he walked over to him and patted him and then walked back to the microphone.
Yeah. So look, President Trump needs to make a closing argument, if you will. He needs to put pressure on Republican senators, at least 50 of them, to move Obamacare replace, or at least do a straight repeal and buy yourself more time so that something can still be done between now and 2018. That this needs to be moved. This is a massive failure by Republicans. If it does not happen, I think President Trump realizes that. I would think more Republican senators would realize that. And so he is trying to leverage the Oval Office to advance a key component of his policy agenda. And frankly, the first big ticket item outside of the nomination of Neil Gorsuch out of the gate.
Right.
And we're, 6.5 months in, and you'd think there would be more progress. Remember, even if the Senate passed it today, which is not going to happen, but
it would take a few years to make amendments to it.
Well, no, but there would be a conferencing process with the House, and so that takes some time. Then there's the actual implementation of the changes, and there's a lag effect there. So in terms of people actually feeling suggested benefits from some of what they're doing, including the repeal of most of the Obamacare taxes, if that was what ultimately was the compromise version, that this takes time. And so it seems to me Republicans in Congress and at the leadership level, and Mitch McConnell in particular, need to have more of a sense of urgency than they've had. And I think that's starting to happen. And it's starting to happen when McConnell is trying to move this process along, not knowing exactly how many votes he has. For a technician like McConnell, for a mechanic of the legislative process like McConnell, to fly blind like this is unusual.
Yeah. And yesterday, okay, so just listen to what he said to HHS Secretary Tom Price. Do you think he was joking around or was he serious?
By the way, you going to get the votes? He better get them. He better get them. Oh, he better. Otherwise, I'll say, Tom, you're fired. I'll get somebody.
And he went over and patted him.
The kids seem to like this.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Oh, So, did President Trump stir things up at the Boy Scouts Jamboree? Was it a lack of civility? Was it funny? I don't know. First, here's your forecast today. Partly sunny, pleasant with low humidity, a high of 82 degrees. Just a lovely day. And then tomorrow, we're going to have some sun and clouds, a high of 89. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. In Elmhurst, North Avenue is closed at York Road due to a crash there. Grand Park, there are closures of Balboa and Columbus for Lollapalooza setup. Only 3 flood-related closures remain, at least in terms of major roads in the area. River Grove, southbound River Road is blocked. Belmont First Avenue. The northbound side has reopened. Some of the water's receded. River Road and McHenry still closed. In Fernview and McHenry Dam. And Rawson Bridge is closed. Roberts and Tuxedo and Fort Barrington. Eden, the Kennedy Eisenhower fine. Stevenson has cleared up after some significant overnight delays. Roadwork. Ryan inbound, just a little tight. Roosevelt to the Circle. I-57, 27 minutes already from I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford 18. Tollways are looking good. An earlier crash on the southbound tri-state has cleared. That was near Dixie Highway. Northwest Indiana's fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do on this show. It's our digital platform featuring long-form interviews. That's our Against the Current series this week. Cook County Commissioner Dan Patlack, Board of Review Commissioner Dan Patlack, talking about both property taxes and how Republicans can do a better job, like he does, of winning suburban Cook County races. Also, 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from yours truly this week on the National Education Association, the country's largest teachers union, podcast for our Illinois Rising program that cover state politics and policy. Our new series, Heart of the Matter, which is professional women kind of kicking around the salient issues of the day, colleague to colleague, as well as 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes of the Illinois Opportunity Project, and Follow the Logic Man on the Street segments. It's all at upstream-ideas.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention, it is illegal to text and drive. So if you're experiencing hair loss and you want a permanent solution, please pull over now, because an incredible offer that could give you your hair back is just one text away. Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, always pioneering the latest technology. And now, we're giving everyone who texts the word GROW to 543-543 an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable this permanent solution really is. Don't wait. When you text GROW to 543-543, we'll also give you a gift certificate for $250 off. Millions of men and women have come to Bosley for a permanent solution to hair loss. So pull over now and see for yourself how great your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit. Text GROW to 543-543. Plus, get a free gift certificate. This amazing offer is just one text away. GROW to 543-543.
Investment advisory services offered through Goldstone Financial Group, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, would you buy a house without looking inside? Well, of course not. Shouldn't you be just as diligent when choosing a financial advisor? Hey, it's Sean Hannity here, and just as a house is more than 4 walls, well, a financial advisor is more than just a nice office. What's their background? Do they work in your best interest as a fiduciary? What's their financial specialty? You want to know all these things because the chances are, over your lifetime, you're going to trust them with far more than the value of your home, because knowledge and experience count for a lot in retirement income planning. Here in Chicago, you need to know brothers Anthony and Michael Pellegrino, founders of Goldstone Financial Group. Now, you've probably seen them on their show, Securing Your Financial Future, Sunday mornings on CBS 2. Call them right now, 800-620-9697. Start securing your financial future, 800-620-9697.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy talking about Trump's final argument on Obamacare replace, and we'll get to what he said before the youngsters at the Boy Scouts Jamboree.
Yeah.
I never went to a Boy Scouts Jamboree. I only made it to the Weeblo stage.
Oh, really?
At Cub Scouts, yeah. I wonder what the merit badge was for attending a Trump speech. Robert in Northbrook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, the problem is the people who are voting on our health don't have to apply themselves to our health care. Because they have a gold standard, and then we are just the minions.
Well,
that's the problem.
That's one of the problems, and the reality is, to your point, in single payer, as we find out from the experience of other countries, you still have the same thing. You still have there's one system of health care for the wealthy and the politically connected, and then there'll be the government health care for everybody else, which is why Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney had his heart procedure at the Mayo Clinic and not provided by the Canadian healthcare system. So your point is well taken. Thanks for the call, Robert. Trump at the Jamboree.
Yeah, Unplugged. President Trump. It was in West Virginia, don't you know? It's an annual event. 40,000 people, youngsters, Dan, kids, and I thought he lacked civility, and because he ripped on President Obama and he ripped on, of course, the media.
You want to achieve your dreams? I said, who the hell wants to speak about politics when I'm in front of the Boy Scouts? We ought to change it from the word swamp to the word cesspool, or perhaps to the word sewer, but it's not good. Not good. Did President Obama ever come to a jamboree? Do you remember that incredible night with the maps? And the Republicans are red, and the Democrats are blue, and that map was so red, it was unbelievable. And you know, we have a tremendous disadvantage in the Electoral College. Popular vote is much easier.
Just as a mother of a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old boy, I mean, he completely, just grow up. You don't have to swear and cuss and bring up, you know, just the election again. Just have some civility. I don't see how this is effective for his presidency at all. I know it's classic Trump. Yes, I know. Campaign Trump. He's a better campaigner than in office, but I don't care. You save that. When you're in front of children, come on.
Okay, fuddy-duddy.
Okay, fine. Maybe I am, but I
he
just...
He said H-E double hockey sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Here's how the kiddies responded as compared to how this old lady that I'm co-hosting with responded. We love Trump. We love... Yeah, how about that? What do you have to say to that?
Because they wanted to make sure they got their merit badges.
That's right, exactly.
Don't sit on your hands, kiddies.
Frank in St. Charles, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I've never heard this really addressed. Is there any country in the world that has a good health care system? And if there was, I guess we could just copy that. But apparently nobody has a good system.
Well, I would say that, Switzerland is often pointed to. I would say, actually, the United States has the best healthcare system in the world. The problem is it's been deteriorating under the weight of government from the Great Society forward. I think we've got the, once upon a time at least, we had the first principles right, but as we have walked away from those first principles, the system has deteriorated, not necessarily in terms of quality of the professionals, but in terms of the cost for what is provided. It's very much the story of another system dominated by government, K through 12 education. Thanks for the call, Frank.
Sure.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, your favorite, Dan?
Emo Phillips, Donald Trump's son-in-law, addresses the public once again at 5:37.
But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 63 degrees in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. The House will pass a compromise Russia sanctions bill later today. The measure to punish Russia for interfering in last year's election comes out of a bipartisan agreement between the House and Senate. At the twilight of a storied career, now battling a brain tumor, Senator John McCain stands poised to deliver for his party and his president on the issue that's defined the GOP for the past 7 years. It's a situation this morning heavy with drama and symbolism as John McCain returns to cast a vote to proceed in the health insurance reform debate. President Trump making headlines after a speech to a crowd of 30,000 at the Boy Scouts Jamboree. At one point calling on Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price on stage with him to make sure West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore Capito's vote gets to the Senate floor or else.
He better get him. He better get him. Oh, he better. Otherwise, they'll say, Tom, you're fired. I'll get somebody.
The Senate's scheduled to take up a key procedural vote later today. President Trump's son-in-law and advisor Jared Kushner returns to Capitol Hill for day 2 of private meetings with congressional investigators. This time, a closed-door conversation with the House Intelligence Committee. A Kansas man headed to prison for his role in a bomb plot at a military base. 22-year-old John Booker was sentenced yesterday to 30 years behind federal bars. The Girl Scouts this morning say they're adding 24 new badges in science, technology, engineering, math, and the outdoors. The organization has been working with groups like the Society of Women Engineers in an effort to get more girls into those kinds of careers. 1 person is dead, 7 others hurt. It follows a crash on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago that shut down LSD for several hours after the incident near Lawrence Avenue. An investigation underway following a crash near Beecher that killed a pregnant mother and her 1-year-old son. Lindsay Schmidt was driving yesterday when her car was struck by a pickup that blew a stop sign at Corning Road and Yates Avenue in Washington Township. If his life had not been cut short in Mississippi when he was a teen, Chicagoan Emmett Till would have been 76 today. This morning in the Delta County where he was murdered, a repaired historical marker that tells Till's stories being rededicated after being vandalized last month. The marker is in the small town of Money at a grocery store where Till was accused of whistling at a white woman, leading to his murder. White Sox beat the Cubs 3-1. Bears getting set to hold the first practices of training camp this week. And the news, a service of Napa Auto Parts. With quality parts and more than 90 years of experience, Napa Auto Parts can help you keep just about anything on the road. Stop by your local Napa store and keep it running longer, stronger with Napa Know-How. 5:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher can always count on the Democrats.
I'm being told that Donald Trump Jr. took a meeting with a Russian lawyer in which no law was broken. At least the Democrats aren't overreacting. What's this? Senator Tim Kaine?
This is moving into perjury, false statements, and even into potentially treason.
Yep, you can count on the Dems.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Right now with Galaxy. Buy 1 cabinet, get 1 free. Visit us online at GalaxyHome.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Save an additional $500 when you book right now.
Sheet metal is a big part of commercial and industrial facilities. Look around your business and you'll quickly notice how many components use sheet metal. From fan systems and hoods to machinery guards and much more. For top quality sheet metal work, get to know the pros at Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial sheet metal contractor that can fabricate all types of alloys up to 1-inch plate. We perform jobs including chutes, hoppers, stacks, siding, and dust collection. We work in material handling facilities including steel, chemical, agricultural, food processing plants, and more. Vans Industrial can also design and perform the engineering for a complete turnkey installation. Our quality work is installed by trained mechanics who will work closely with you to make sure the job is done right.
Call 219-931-4881 for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. One of the best things I ever did in my life was buy 2 huge Liberty safes. Now, I love the peace of mind that these safes give me, especially when I'm at work or on vacation. But what made the experience so great is the incredible service you get and I got from my local Liberty Safe dealer. These guys are amazing. There's so much to like about Liberty Safe, so do what I did. You need a safe. Buy a Liberty Safe today and protect all your valuables, important papers, and, of course, your firearms like never before.
Thanks, Sean. I'm Bert with Second Amendment Sports, here announcing the biggest and best Liberty Safe sale in Chicagoland. It's the Second Amendment Sports Liberty Safe Tent Event, July 29th and 30th. 2 days only for the lowest pricing of the year, 0% financing, and immediate delivery of our huge selection of in-stock safes. Doors open at 9, so get in early. The Second Amendment Sports Liberty Safe Tent Sale in downtown McHenry on Route 120 and 31. Second Amendment Sports. Safety, recreation, protection.
5:35 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Elmhurst, North Avenue is closed. York Road and Emroy due to a crash. It's been there a while. Southbound River Road remains closed. In River Grove, Belmont to First Avenue. Northbound, it's now open. McHenry's River Road is closed between Fernview and McHenry Dam. Rawson Bridge is closed in Port Barrington due to flooding. The other flooding closures, well, the waters receded. They've lifted. The Edens is fine. Kennedy as well. Inbound Eisenhower, little slow. Manheim to 17th. 31 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 29. On Stevenson, 37 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. On Ryan, 20 minutes. 95th to downtown. I-57, 27 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop 423. Tollways are fine. Traffic is a service of American Sale. Get up to 60% off patio collections during the clearance event at American Sale. Choose from hundreds of patio sets on display and get free delivery too. See store for details. The patio set clearance event is going on now at American Sale. Bring the fun home. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Partly sunny day ahead, pleasant, low humidities, and a high of 82. Currently 63. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is powered by CharlesEquipment.com. Weathering every storm and keeping the lights on.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I enjoyed Jared Kushner's performance after testifying before the Senate Intelligence Committee, but I liked his performance in Yentl better.
Oh, really?
Here's what Jared Kushner...
Okay, be nice.
Here's what he had to say.
Kush?
He introduced himself to the American public again, which was nice. He's such a thoughtful, young, androgynous human.
My name is Jared Kushner. I am Senior Advisor to President Donald J. Trump.
Okay, that's enough. I mean, I'm blushing.
And then he went on to say this.
From America, and the economy's having problems. We have a $200 billion a year budget deficit. And my advice to President Bush, don't worry about it. What's going to happen is Japan going to come over and say, hey, Uncle Sam, we want the money. We'll say we don't have it. They'll say you don't have it. What did you spend the $200 billion on? And we'll say, well, these nuclear warheads. And they'll say, well, we don't need it right away.
Yeah, he's a real cut-up, Kush. Then he got back to, he kind of a flashback to the Bush administration.
Yeah,
and then he got back to
his 11-page statement that he made to the committee.
Here's the upshot of it on Russian collusion.
Since the first questions were raised in March, I have been consistent in saying that I was eager to share any information I have with the investigating bodies, and I've done so today. The record and documents I have voluntarily provided will show that all of my actions were proper and occurred in the normal course of events of a very unique campaign. Let me be very clear. I did not collude with Russia, nor do I know of anyone else in the campaign who did so. I had no improper contacts. I have not relied on Russian funds for my businesses. And I have been fully transparent in providing all requested information.
And then Ivanka gave him a treat.
No, and then on the way out, before he dropped the mic and said, good night, Washington, D.C., he said this.
Donald Trump had a better message and ran a smarter campaign, and that is why he won.
Okay.
Suggesting otherwise ridicules those who voted for him.
Well, you know who agrees with him, not in the same words, but you know who agrees with that sentiment?
Who?
Senate Minority Leader Pagliacci, who said the same thing, that Hillary Clinton didn't lose because of Russian interference in the election. That's not to say that the Russian effort to interfere with the election is not an issue of concern and legitimacy.
But that's not the
It
reason
is.
why she lost.
That's not the reason why she lost. So that's something even the left is starting to accept because they recognize that their kind of sour grapes and conspiracy theories about the election being illegitimate isn't getting them anywhere.
Right. And then they, in that 11-page statement that he wrote prior to going before the committee, they asked him about his meeting with Donald Trump Jr. and with that Russian lawyer, and basically plausible deniability. He said, I didn't read the email. He just said he eventually sent me his own email changing the time of the meeting to 4. That email was on top of a long back and forth that I did not read at the time.
Yeah,
so he did not know exactly who he was meeting with. He just knew that he had to meet Donald Trump Jr. at the tower at 4 o'clock for a meeting.
There's like a notation at the bottom of the email about too long, didn't read.
Yeah.
And
he said he didn't realize that until investigators asked him to pull up his email.
So that's good enough for me. Good enough for you. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro. Answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro. Text line. This is kind of an interesting story. It comes to us from the Washington Examiner on Kush, as you have appropriated from Jerry Maguire.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
He actually accepted dirt from the Russians, literally. He left a December 13th meeting with Sergei Gorkov, a banker who had a direct line to Putin, bearing gifts. Not only did Kushner accept a piece of art from Belarus, where his grandparents grew up, he also received a ceremonial bag of dirt from their village. So that's the only Russian dirt that the Trump team actually received. It was literally a bag of dirt from Jared Kushner's ancestral village in Belarus.
Where does one put a bag of dirt that someone gives them as a gift?
It's ancestral dirt.
Oh, okay, fine. But did you see Bill O'Reilly's tweet that Jared Kushner?
I'm sorry, who?
Bill O'Reilly.
I'm not familiar with him.
Oh, come on, Bill. And I'm not a big fan of Bill O'Reilly, but his tweet was funny. He said Jared Kushner looks too young to collude with Russia.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Yeah. How old is he? I mean, he's worth millions of dollars. Is he 32?
No,
maybe?
I don't know. He's about Ivanka's age. What's she, 35, 36?
Yeah, I should know these things.
I know.
She's 30. He's 36. He's 36?
Yeah.
Wow, he's a young 36.
Yeah.
Do you know those suits come in bigger sizes?
He's a skinny.
Or is that the pencil thing?
He's a skinny suit guy.
Do you wear this? Do you like skinny suits?
I like them.
Too soon.
A bridge too far. I mean, as Robert Browning observed, may man's reach always exceed his grasp, or else what's a heaven for? And so in heaven, I'll be able to wear skinny suits.
Did you ever wear skinny suits?
Yeah.
I mean, back when you were in your fighting weight?
Yeah, it's funny because I was at Operation Support Our Troops, the Rocket for the Troops concert over the weekend.
Uh-huh.
Another couple people came up to me and said, wait, you're not that fat. No, thank you.
Well, you're down to what, 275 now?
Yeah.
I mean, you were $3 bills, and then we got you on that apple cider vinegar diet, which was really shed the pounds.
That's real effective. Infomercial diets. People actually believe that.
Uh-huh.
People actually, they don't know what you look like. Most people aren't trying to size me up on the stream, but
and most radio talents are
funny.
large. I mean,
well, yeah, everybody.
Howell, Cochran, they're all pushing the scales.
You think it's like you think everybody in radio looks like Steve Dahl,
exactly,
or Terry Hemmert, and they're the same person.
Can you take off that Hawaiian shirt, please?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
you think everybody's some fat slob eating on the air? Not true. Not that,
Pizza didn't stand a chance.
I'm not that fat.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up next, vasectomy parties. Oh, yes. Dan, are you going to have one?
I don't know what a vasectomy is. I'm familiar with a vasectomy.
Excuse me. Vasectomy. Forecast for today, partly sunny, pleasant. Low humidity, a high of 82. It'll be great for the second day of the Crosstown Classic. Congratulations. Your White Sox beat the Cubs 3-1. That won't happen today. And then tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, clouds, more humid, a high near 90. Any high travel times? Let's get the latest in our alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. On the inbound, Ryan, you got a crash at 31st on the right shoulder, so the travel time is going up there. It's now 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 5 at 15. There's some road work at 87th in the 3 right lanes. I-57, 27 minutes. I-80 to the merge, Bishop 424. The Edens and Kennedy are fine. Inbound Eisenhower, 34 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 29. Stevenson, 38 minutes. 3:55 to the drive. Northbound Tri-State now a little heavy approaching 290. In Elmhurst, North Avenue is closed from York to Emroy due to an earlier crash. Still a few flood-related closures. When southbound River Road in River Grove, River Road in McHenry at McHenry Dam Road, and Port Barrington has the closure still of Rawson Bridge. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, get out and have some fun. Visit ChicagoRadioDeals.com for a fun night on the town. Grab your Sweet Caroline and make a date to listen to your favorite music. Direct from their Midwest tour is Denny Diamond and the Jewels, featuring the music of Neil Diamond. Normally $76 for lunch and a show for 2, but it's only $39 at ChicagoRadioDeals.com. Or head downtown for some laughs. $22 will get you a pair of tickets to Comedy Sports Chicago. It's a unique blend of fast and funny improv comedy that's appropriate for all ages. It's a laugh-out-loud good time that features 2 improv teams that play games on stage where the referee and the audience is in on the fun. Or this is your chance to get away and escape to Wisconsin. Find certificates for the Schuster Mansion Bed and Breakfast in Milwaukee or the Door County White Lace Inn in Sturgeon Bay. So check in every week for fun and adventure at ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
As the head of procurement for my company, I was sweating a big deadline and got tired of calling my printer for updates, only to hear excuses. So I heard about McGrath Printing Custom Apparel and gave them a call. I got A+ service, and they beat the deadline. McGrath Printing really saved my...
I'm a supply chain manager for a Fortune 500 company, and we had $50,000 of product waiting for instruction manuals because our printer couldn't deliver on time. One call to McGrath Printing Custom Apparel, and they saved my...
At McGrath Printing Custom Apparel, they've been saving companies for over 35 years. Give them a call at 815-356-5246. That's 815-356-5246. And mention code AM560 and get 20% off your first order. So remember,
go to where the pros go. McGrathPrint.com. McGrathPrint.com.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants. And that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
AM 560, The Answer.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Donald Trump is gearing up for war. We'll talk about what that means when freedom returns at 5.
Dan and Amy, on the whole matter of Russian collusion, it got off the best line. It wasn't Yentl. It was Eric Trump's wife.
Oh, Laura?
Laura.
Laura. Oh, I'm
think,
sorry.
Think
as I
Dr.
say Chicago.
Zhivago. Laura.
Laura.
L-A-R-A. There's no U.
Laura.
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 She
Okay.
She told Fox News and Martha McCallum, I really commend both of them for the fact that nobody used BleachBit, nobody deleted emails, nobody destroyed cell phones with hammers in reference to Don Jr. and Jared. Zing.
Booyah. Drop mic, go home.
This is a good one.
Good for her.
Speaking of Jared Kushner and his skinny suits, and that I aspire to.
Maybe someday, Dan.
There's a good piece in the Wall Street Journal. Don't be that guy avoiding over 40 style pitfalls. This is for men. Over 40 style pitfalls.
Dan, this is for you.
Well, right. I mean, but I mean, I can only fit into a muumuu, so I'm kind of physically challenged on the topic. I don't have as many choices, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But here are some things you shouldn't do. By the way, the recommendations for what you should do, $1,300 jackets and $445 shirts. So,
no, come on.
Give me a break. But here's the thing. If you're just wearing, Breaking Bad T-shirts and dad jeans, and you got a problem, here's some things to not do. Okay.
All right, what?
All right, here's one. The 80s leftover is what they call it.
Here's some pictures for me.
It's right here in the piece.
Oh, nice. I'm trying to find the piece.
Finding a great fitting suit is a foolproof style solution for the professional. This gentleman, however, is still wearing his suit 1.5 sizes too big, accessorized by slick back hair and a fulsome pocket square, like an extra from the 1987 film Wall Street. So, yeah, that whole look, the Gordon Gekko look, that's out.
Yeah.
Another look that's out, the dad jean don't.
Yeah, no.
Or the mom jean don't in the case of Barack Obama. They're safe, they're easy, they're comfortable. Dad jeans certainly have their allure, but wearing them can also telegraph the message that you've given up. This paterfamilias has lazily added a too big polo shirt, a freebie baseball cap, and drugstore sunglasses.
Oh!
He looks like
Basically
the way to describe it. You remember Super Dave Osborne?
Oh yeah.
That's the Super Dave Osborne look.
Yeah.
You can't do that. All right, one more for you over 40s
white
guys.
gym shoes. Yes.
The I was in the band look.
Oh.
When it comes to more mature guys with spare tires, we don't recommend wearing the Strokes T-shirt in 2017. You might want to leave the man buns to the promising 20-something Subway buskers. So the jean jacket, the man bun, the combat boots.
Oh, we have a dad in our neighborhood that dresses like that because he was in a rock and roll band in the 80s and still is trying to rock it out.
That's not a dad.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you crave work that matters? 20 years ago, Bob Buford's book, Halftime, took business leaders from success to significance in their work. That book started a movement and the Halftime Institute. Now, from Institute CEO Dean Nawalny comes the next new powerhouse book, Trade Up. Building on Bob's legacy, Trade Up shows marketplace leaders how to not just make money, but make a difference. If the word smoldering discontent describe you, then trade up. Go to halftime.org. That's halftime.org.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
A good parking lot is essential to a good building and a good business.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great. We are an industry leader in seal coating. You can trust our company to do the work for your company. We have the same traditional values as you. We use a process and application that makes sure you get a great job that lasts a long time. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Go to our website, greatparkinglots.com. Check it out, greatparkinglots.com.
Go to greatparkinglots.com. Schedule a free inspection and get a quote to make your parking lot a great parking lot. Save the expense. Fix, don't replace. Contact SKC Construction now for commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com.
If you have pain, listen up, Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
5:56. Let's get an update on the ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Elmhurst, North Avenue remains closed between York Road and Emory. This is due to a single vehicle crash which happened more than 2 hours ago at North Avenue in York. In River Grove, southbound River Road still closed. Belmont First Avenue due to flooding. The northbound side is open. We still have closures in McHenry of River Road there near McHenry Dam Road and Rawson Bridge Road in Port Barrington. Edens is fine. Kennedy inbound, heavy out of the River Road toll to Canfield. 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 20. On Eisenhower, 34 minutes, Thorndale to the post office, outbound 29. Stevenson, 48 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 27 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 420. Traffic service of Staples with free next-day delivery from Staples. You can run your business like a pro. Go to staples.com for the office essentials you need delivered next day free on eligible items only and orders over $49.99 placed by 5 p.m. Excludes weekends and holidays. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, partly sunny with low humidity, high 81. Tonight, mainly clear, low 66. Then tomorrow, more humid with sunshine and some clouds, high 88. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
Currently 63 at O'Hare, 67 along the lakefront. The news, a service of LifeLock. It's morning. Here's an eye-opener. LifeLock can see more threats to your identity than you can see if you're just monitoring your credit. And if something happens, U.S.-based specialists can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com, promo code RISK, to save 10%. 5:59 in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Here are the stories we're following at this hour. Governor Rauner summoning lawmakers to Springfield on Wednesday for a special session. An investigation underway following a shooting in South Suburban Country Club Hills. 2 were found shot last night in a home. Both victims are hospitalized. Chicago police say they're still searching for the gunman who wounded a police officer last week following an attempted store robbery last Friday. Mayor Emanuel facing criticism for using $55 million in TIF funds to renovate Navy Pier. Crane Chicago Business and the BGA reported last week the funds were originally meant to finance a hotel near McCormick Place. Better news for Caterpillar this morning. Cat selling heavy machines again. Great news for a lot of workers in central Illinois, and Cat stock share rose to $108 per share on the news. White Sox beat the Cubs. More Dan and Amy after Fox News, WIND, Chicago News Time, 6.
He's going after his own attorney general. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump has fired off 2 tweets this morning amid reports he's considering firing Jeff Sessions. Fox's Rachel Sutherland is live in Washington.
Dave, the president tweeted that Attorney General Jeff Sessions has taken a very weak position on, quote, Hillary Clinton crimes, referring to her emails in the Democratic National Committee server. He also claims Ukraine tried to sabotage his campaign, adding, so where's the investigation, AG? The AP reports President Trump, upset over Sessions' recusal from the Russia probe, has spoken privately with advisors about the political consequences of firing him. Sessions had said he would stay on the job as long as appropriate. Dave?
Now, Rachel, the president joked last night about getting rid of another cabinet member, saying Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price needs to get the votes in the Senate replacing Obamacare.
He better get them. Oh, he better. Otherwise, I'll say, Tom, you're fired. I'll get somebody.
The president addressing Boy Scouts in West Virginia. He'll hold a rally in Ohio tonight after that Senate vote, attempting to start debate.
A lot of Republican senators are saying, well, we don't know what we're going to be voting on, so we don't know if we would be voting to proceed. What they're proceeding to is technically the House-passed health care bill, the piece of legislation the House passed back in May. And if they get onto the bill, then you immediately have to start amending.
Fox's Chad Pergram. One yes vote will be from Republican John McCain. The senator will return today despite starting a battle with brain cancer. The president just tweeted, thank you, John, calling McCain brave and an American hero. The president also tweeted, Jared Kushner did very well yesterday, going before the Senate and then speaking out in public.
Let me be very clear. I did not collude with Russia, nor do I know of anyone else in the campaign who did so.
But Democrats want more answers about Kushner's Russian contacts. Some want the president's son-in-law advisor to testify under oath. Fox News, fair and balanced.
This summer, everybody is talking about one person. And on August 22nd, we want to hear what you have to say about President Donald Trump. Join AM 560's Joe Walsh for the Summer of Trump as he welcomes Hugh Hewitt and Guy Benson to the Bolingbrook Golf Club. Join the debate as they discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly moments of the Trump administration. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/summer. Sponsored in part by Storlock and by Best Dental Group.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And in the wake of that terrible incident reported that happened over the weekend, reported yesterday, the 10 migrants illegally trafficked into this country who suffocated to death in the back of a tractor trailer.
It was awful. Awful. And the driver who was charged yesterday said that he started out in Iowa and was driving down. He said he had no idea that there were people in the back of the truck. So he started in Iowa, drove down to Laredo, and then crisscrossed into San Antonio. So they think that he picked up the group in Laredo. But some of them were Mexican, some of them were from Central America. But it's just sickening what people will do to try and get to America, to have a better life. And there was a little peephole in the truck, and they were taking turns breathing oxygen out of that little hole.
Mm-hmm.
And 20 are still hospitalized.
This prompted a conversation between Neil Cavuto and acting ICE Director Tom Homan. We heard from on the show before. He is going to take seriously, he meaning as acting Director of ICE and thus Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, going to take seriously people in this country illegally committing crimes for the safety of Americans, and also, as we were reminded with this terrible, tragic incident, for those trying to get into this country, their safety too.
Well, it's a message I've been trying to get out as long as I've been the acting ICE director. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. I mean, these folks, they contract with criminal organizations. These organizations are the same organization that smuggle drugs, they smuggle weapons, they smuggle people that want to do harm to this country. You're talking about drug cartels that are involved with smuggling folks. So this is not a victimless crime, and whether you're victimized as an illegal alien, coming up to the border, or whether you're a U.S. citizen being victimized by someone stealing your Social Security number, or your credit rating goes to zero because someone took your identity. This is not a victimless crime. For those folk that want us to turn a blind eye to illegal immigration, this is an example of what happens. There are real consequences. This is a life and death decision that these people make. And as far as the sanctuary cities go, as we discussed the last time I was on the show, they're sending the wrong message to these folks that if you get by the Border Patrol, if you're lucky enough to get by the Border Patrol, if you're lucky enough to survive the trip, and you get to one of these cities, we're going to help shield you from immigration authorities. That is not the message you want to send to these people.
No, it's not the message you want to send. And to Director Holman's point, this story, an illegal immigrant has been arrested in Geneseo, New York, for allegedly raping a 12-year-old girl. Fernando Alvarado Perez, 37-year-old male, had sex with the girl multiple times while she was between 12 and 13 years old. Came to this country illegally about 10 years ago. An immigration detainer has now been issued on Mr. Alvarado Perez, and he is being charged with rape. Under President Trump, it is worth noting that arrests of persons here illegally has increased by 43%, with ICE arresting 13,914 people in June alone.
How many is that? Repeat that.
13,914 people just last month alone.
Okay.
So you start to get a sense of the scope of the problem that we've discussed many times before, that ICE, even under the Obama administration, admitted with respect to the revolving door of people coming in illegally, leaving, coming in illegally again, being deported, coming in illegally again, committing crimes, committing violent crimes, being released. These are real things, but not to local hero.
Oh, no, who?
El Gaito.
Luis Gutierrez.
Luis Gutierrez had something to say on this topic. At Lincoln United Methodist Church in Pilsen, you know that church. That's the Emma Lozano Church.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what he said. So ICE is going to take seriously people in this country illegally who commit violent crimes. Luis Gutierrez, by contrast, is not.
The millions of undocumented workers that work every day, sweat and toil at some of the most miserable jobs in the United States of America are not criminals. We are going to determine, and history is going to determine who those criminals are. And for me, the major criminal that exists in the United States of America is called Donald Trump. He lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue at the White House. And we're going to take actions today, and we're going to take actions tomorrow, and there will soon be a majority in the House of Representatives, and I'm going to make sure that I'm there to make sure of one thing, that we write those articles of impeachment and take him to trial before the Senate and eliminate him as President of the United States of America.
Oh, my gosh.
President Trump has been targeted for elimination.
Comey. He can't just say he's going to fire Mueller. He can't just say I'm the king and I'm the dictator. This is a democracy, and we will make democracy work. We will make sure that it works for everyone.
Yeah.
Wow. He's el fuego.
So who should be deported? Donald Trump or persons in this country illegally committing crimes? You would think that would be an uncontroversial question, but not to El Gaito, it isn't.
No, not at all. But President Trump is just enforcing the laws that are already on the book. I mean, they committed a crime, but since we're a sanctuary city, that is why people such as the 39 immigrants who were in that truck were probably trying to go to sanctuary cities. We don't know for sure, but that's where they'd feel safest.
Well,
because we're saying if you come to L.A., San Francisco, you will be safe here, and your risk of deportation is lower.
A couple hundred cities, actually. And so is El Gaito right that persons here illegally are the foundation of a democracy, and Donald Trump is the foundation of a dictatorship? By the way, just in case you don't think this is a talking point of the left, I'm talking about the modern incarnation of the Democrat Party. Socialists just being Democrats in a hurry in the modern formation of the Democrat Party. You want to hear from another member of Congress, Gregory Meeks? He's a Democrat from New York. Here's what he said about Donald Trump.
You know, it seems clear to me that this president does not care about the United States of America. What this president cares about is Donald Trump. And what he would like to have is a regime in the similar fashion that Mr. Putin has and Mr. Erdogan has, where he is an authoritarian and everyone just pledges their allegiance to him, not to the Constitution, not to what the right things to do for this country. It always comes back to him and loyalty to him.
So Gregory Meeks is the great protector of the United States Constitution, and El Gaito is the great defender of our representative Republican form of government. Donald Trump is a erstwhile dictator and aspiring authoritarian. That's the construct that the Democrats are putting forward from some of their more vociferous members. You agree? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 646-36DA, turnkey.pro text line. Mike on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, kids. Thanks for taking my call. First off, Amy, what happened to you last week? I call up, I welcome you back from vacation. You go back on vacation?
No, I went to Haiti with Food for the Poor.
Yeah, vacation.
Oh.
That was not a vacation.
Oh, okay.
But we'll talk about that in December.
There were all kinds of rumors spreading around. You quit, you were fired, you eloped with Sean from Elmwood Park.
Eloped.
There was one I heard that you were teaching vacation Bible school at that feminist church of yours, but then I told people, no, they don't use a Bible at her church.
No, that's right.
My favorite was that I heard over at Riccobetti was that you were starting your own radio show later on during the day with Bruce Wolf, who was going to be the MILF and the Mensch. That's so you don't have in Chicago.
Boy, I mean, he saved up a week of material. Get it all out, Mike, at Rico Benny's, too, by the way. Rico Benny's. Of course he was there.
Rico Benny.
Hey, they get a good sandwich over there.
Hey, they got the best. They got the best. Hey, Dan, why can't we just sow some dissension in the Democrats' ranks? Why don't we run some celebrities against some of their more loudmouth members? Like, we could run Ozzie Guillen against Gutierrez. We could run Pat Quinn against Tiny Dancer. We could run O.J. Simpson against Maxine Waters. We could even run Amy. We could run her against Cullerton.
I heard that rumor at Rico Benny's that she was going to run against Cullerton.
Or else, how about Keith Conrad? We could run him against slimy Jan Schakowsky up on the north side.
Yeah, he's in her district.
Well, he doesn't have to be in her district.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Well, okay. Thanks for the call, Mike, from the north side, our political director. Appreciate that. Sharon and Itasca, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Evidently, El Gaito, is that what you call him, Dan?
Yes, the little rooster, yes.
He's never had a family member victimized by an illegal alien who did criminal activity part-time because no one would hire him enough or give him enough jobs. I'll tell you something that's really ridiculous. I have a small janitorial service in DuPage County, and I'm only hoping that the pricing will get a little bit more competitive in a better northern direction because the people who hire these illegals keep everything suppressed. And I think that this could make a difference with what the president's doing. I really hope it does, especially here in Illinois.
Thanks for the call, Sharon. Now, who's going to run against El Gaito? Who did Mike say?
He said, oh, come on. What did he say? Ozzie Guillen.
Oh, yeah, Ozzie.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. But I think Ozzie should run for president of Venezuela. Take out Maduro.
Oh, that would be good, too.
That'd be a start. And I think Venezuela may have more hope than Chicago.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Speaking of Ozzie Guillen and the White Sox, Dan, I want you to take a look at this picture one of our listeners sent me. They thought that I was at the Cub game yesterday. And I don't know to be insulted or flattered. I'll show you in a few minutes. First, here's your forecast today. Sunshine, low humidity, just a great day for Game 2 of your Crosstown Classic at Wrigley Field. A high today of 82 degrees. Then tomorrow, a little bit warmer, more humid, a high near 90. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The one and only Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. We have some good news first. At Elmhurst, North Avenue has reopened at York Road after an early morning wreck. And in River Grove, southbound River Road is now open. Belmont First Avenue, there was high water there, but now it's all gone. River Road is open in both directions. Only 2 flood-related closures, at least major closures, remain at Port Barrington of Rawson Bridge between Roberts and Tuxedo, and at McHenry of River Road there between Fernview and McHenry Dam Road. The northbound tri-state's really heavy this morning from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park. Really heavy delays. The other tollways are fine. The Edens, 19 minutes either way between Lake Hook and Montrose. Kennedy, 23 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 20. The Ike, 46 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, outbound 30. Stevenson, 55 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. And Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. And Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, have you seen the store shelves? They're already putting out the back-to-school supplies, and the school year may seem like a million years from now, but it's actually just around the corner. And maybe this summer you've been rethinking sending your kids to public school. Things are changing in our public schools, and not always for the better. So now might be the time to consider sending your child to a private school, and you could do it for half the price off the regular tuition, thanks to our good friends at halfpriceschools.com, where you can find tuition vouchers for private schools across the Chicagoland. Available at half off the normal price. There's no catch. It's real simple. Find a private school near you, purchase a tuition voucher, and prepare to send your child off to school this fall. Halfpriceschools.com has schools located all across the Chicagoland area, even Northwest Indiana. So don't delay. School will be starting again in a matter of weeks. Visit halfpriceschools.com today. Now, many of these vouchers have already sold out, so do not wait. Visit halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-300-8038. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away, so you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-300-8038. That's 1-800-300-8038. 1-800-300-8038.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? You should know. The credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people, they're A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. That's 800-518-4020.
AM 560, The Answer.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
So wait, does this picture look like me or not?
It looks like Kenny Rogers.
The blonde behind Kenny Rogers. I think I'm kind of insulted because she's bigger busted, obviously, and she's
how is that insulting?
Well, also, she looks like she's 60, maybe 65.
No.
I'm not that old. I mean, we joke around I'm old, but I'm not that old.
Right. It's like you're not that old. I'm not that fat. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Hey.
Fair is fair. We were talking about ICE being serious about removing people in this country illegally who commit violent crimes, and El Gallito not being serious about it at all. Let's quickly take a call from Rich in Freeport. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I think it's time to I think El Gallito needs to get Senior Molter to investigate El Trumpo, because I think this whole thing is a hoax, and I think there's a bigger story than the Russian collusion. I think there's something going on. I don't really, I think El Gallito may have a point. We should listen to him closely.
Well, what do you? He has a point about what?
Pardon?
What's his point that we should listen to?
Well, he might be making sense for once. It could be the first time.
Well,
he might be right about something.
About what?
About Trump. About Trump.
That Trump is an aspiring aspiring dictator or king. That part.
Yeah. He might actually be on topic for once.
Based on what?
Nothing really. Based on nothing.
Okay, thanks for the call, Rich. I'm baffled by the points you're trying to make, but
El
based on
Gallito,
tweeting, I mean,
I know, but I don't know. But El Gallito, he was just saying that to stir the base and to get them all fired up, and
sure.
And he probably had a voter registration table right outside the door at the church saying, "Come on, we need more Democrats."
So switching gears a little bit, this is an interesting contrast. Deloitte. I got to report this because.
Deloitte is in Deloitte and
Deloitte as in the big accounting firm.
Yeah, right.
Big three accounting firm. This is so remarkable because you don't normally get common sense or political courage from corporate America, so it's worth reporting. Deloitte says it's time to end diversity groups.
Really?
They're moving away from these affinity groups, so diversity progress stalling in parts of corporate America, reports Bloomberg. Deloitte is beginning to shift away from traditional approaches built around gender, race, or sexual orientation, instead of working to get a broader buy-in, particularly from white males. After 24 years, the Women's Initiative of Deloitte will end. Over the next 18 months, the company will also phase out Globe.
What's Globe? I like a WIM better than Globe, but I don't know what Globe is.
Which supports gay employees and groups focused solely on veterans or minority employees. In their place will be so-called inclusion councils that bring together a variety of viewpoints to work on diversity issues.
Can't you just go to work?
Nope. That's a great question. Can I just go to work and get along with people? Do I have to participate in trust falls with an Inuit Eskimo to show that I'm concerned about other humans?
Do I have to walk across fire to prove that I really trust you?
Yeah, that I'm not I'm not a discriminator.
We had diversity training at NBC. It was great. It was 8 hours of just getting to know.
Sure.
I got to know Anita Padilla better, Prince Al-Hair, Warner Saunders. It was 8 hours of just opening up and talking about our feelings.
Yeah, no,
and
it's
actually,
great.
you know what? For me, it was a great day to not cover a murder and get off the streets and just breathe.
No, it's great. It's nice when a bunch of middle-aged white women and white men can get together and talk about diversity in the safety of a newsroom. Agreed. So Deloitte maybe not
Black
so much
men
courage
and white
after
women.
all.
Yeah. But it was, I don't know. I mean, I got to know people better. That's about it.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever go to diversity training?
No.
And it's not just a wooden ship.
And I never will. So Deloitte is moving to end diversity groups, sorta. I mean, at least to include, at least to move away from non-behavioral identity groups and to diversity of opinion, so that you actually have some interesting discourse. Then the flip side, California is moving to eliminate free speech.
Oh.
So there you go. This is, you think, again, we talked about this, Canada, the pronoun law in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
A crime, a criminal offense to refer to someone by something other than their preferred pronoun. That's the Canadian proposal. And our friend Jordan Peterson, who's a psychology professor at the University of Toronto, has stood up on the topic, testified before the Canadian government on the topic, and become something of a cause celeb for standing up against the totalitarians in strange Brewland.
There's no utility in subjecting people to counterproductive discrimination. And I would consider discrimination counterproductive when the discrimination occurs for reasons that aren't relevant to the task at hand.
Sure.
Because we discriminate all the time. But the government ran the policies by a relatively select group of activists and transformed it into a piece of policy legislation that no one in their right mind would abide by, or could abide by for that matter, and reduced, for example, the idea of human identity to something that basically transforms on a subjective whim. And so I don't buy any of that. I don't think that that's what identity is. I don't think it's fundamentally self-generated. It might be socioculturally constructed to some degree, and it most certainly is. But the idea that your identity is solely your choice and that you have the right to inflict that on other people is absolutely preposterous. Most people grow out of that idea when they're 2 years of age. And I mean that technically, because we know that when children hit about 3 years of age, they're able to start playing social games. And that's when they start learning that identity is at minimum a socially negotiated phenomena.
Well, we need to switch in a bunch of 2-year-olds to the California Assembly because they've introduced a state senator there from San Francisco, of course, has introduced Senate Bill 219 in California, which would... it's titled the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Long-Term Care Facility Residents Bill of Rights. It shall be unlawful for a long-term care facility or facility staff to willfully and repeatedly fail to use a resident's preferred name or pronouns after being clearly informed of the preferred name or pronouns. The punishment includes, it's a misdemeanor, a fine not to exceed $1,000, or imprisonment not to exceed 1 year, which is essentially the Colorado model, which includes fines and potentially jail time for failure to use the proper pronouns for thought crimes and speech crimes. This is serious. The Senate bill in California also mandates bathrooms and rooming situations be designated by gender identity and not biological sex.
We had to share a bathroom in Haiti.
A lot of individual rooms
with men because the men's washroom broke down, and I have to tell you, it was very uncomfortable. Even if everybody had their own stalls, I did not like it at all. I'm a little bit of a traditionalist that way. I want the women's washroom to be the women's washroom. It's a lot cleaner.
It's the California legislation, no exemptions for long-term care facilities run by religious institutions. Of course not, because religious freedom also goes the way of the dodo bird under these totalitarians.
And then you have this transgender artist who, I don't know if you saw this picture, it's absolutely disgusting, that says she, because he doesn't use a pronoun either, he calls him themself on Instagram, posted a picture of free bleeding while holding up a sign that reads, periods are not just for women. Hashtag bleeding while trans. Is this going to win their argument for him? This disgusting, uncivilized behavior? It's sponsored, of course, by Tony the Tampon. Remember that book? When that was released and we read excerpts of it on the air.
It's a real page turner, but some of the pages stick. Never mind.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Hello, this is financial advisor Dale Bradley speaking to you from the Bradley Investment Center in Evanston. Have you ever made an investment through one of those large national brokerage firms? Have you ever felt like just a number? Well, at Bradley Investment Center, our goal is not to be the largest practice. It's simply to be the best. by establishing and keeping true personal relationships. Visit us at BradleyInvestmentCenter.com. That's BradleyInvestmentCenter.com. Or better yet, stop by and say hello. We are at the corner of Central and Central Park in beautiful Northwest Evanston. We strive to be the center of all your family's investment needs. For more information, call the Bradley Investment Center at 855-940-8700. That's 855-940-8700.
Bradley Investment Center. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc. Bradley Investment Center is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, it happened again. Somebody streaming live, this time on Instagram, kills two 14-year-old girls, and it's unbelievable. It needs to be stopped. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
In the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom, Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. It is 63 degrees, and we have sunny skies. In Washington this morning, Republican leaders are steering the Senate toward a crucial vote on their health insurance reform bill, with a fresh burst of drama and some optimism this morning, thanks to Senator John McCain's declaration that he'll return to the Capitol for the roll call vote. Before the announcement by the cancer-stricken McCain, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell had already planned an initial vote on beginning debate on the effort. President Trump also turning up the heat on Senate Republicans over health insurance reform.
The Democrats aren't giving us one vote, so we need virtually every single vote from the Republicans. Not easy to do.
At the White House yesterday, the president urging the Senate to pass a bill to repeal and replace Obamacare. President Donald Trump's son-in-law and advisor, Jared Kushner, will return to Capitol Hill for his second day of private meetings with congressional investigators.
Let me be very clear. I did not collude with Russia, nor do I know of anyone else in the campaign who did so.
He goes before the House Intelligence Committee after answering questions from staffers on the Senate Intelligence Panel. O.J. Simpson will spend the rest of his prison term in protective custody. His attorney tells CBS there have been threats now made against Simpson. The 70-year-old granted parole last week after serving almost 9 years of a 33-year sentence for his 2008 conviction on armed robbery charges in Nevada. Governor Bruce Rauner summons lawmakers into a special session this week to settle the public education funding issue, with weeks to go before the school bell is set to ring for the fall term. An investigation underway following a shooting in South Suburban Country Club Hills. Police tell us both victims are hospitalized. One person was killed and 7 others hurt following a major crash on Lakeshore Drive near Lawrence Avenue last night. Police say a car traveling southbound crossed the median and slammed into 3 other vehicles heading northbound. Miguel Gonzalez, 7 1/3 innings of 1-run ball. Sox beat the Cubs 3-1. The news service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today, just $19.99, plus $3 disposal fee for tires, oil service, and repairs. National Tire and Battery. That's all you need. 6:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes the GOP is fighting a tough battle.
I'm distressed because the Republican Party is up against the greatest addiction in the country. Addiction to benefits. The drug is benefits. You become so addicted to it that it becomes impossible to change. Impossible. This is how governments collapse.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I've been on vitamins, I've been on all kinds of supplements, but nothing has come close to your product. The difference between before I started the product and afterwards is like night and day. I do have more energy, and that was what I really was after. I get all these benefits. It's wonderful. I had no energy at all, and I thought, how can I live this way? I do one little chore, and then I have to sit and rest. and I find that I get through the day pretty well, and I really have more energy. I look in the mirror and I say, I think I feel more alive. I think I look more alive.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
6:35. Let's get an update on the roads in our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The northbound tri-state is heavy from 95th Street to LaGrange Road this morning, and it's very heavy from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park with long delays through that stretch. The other tollways are okay at the moment. The Edens is heavy inbound Devon to the junction, 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. Kennedy, 31 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 32. There was a crash at Demon in the left lane, just cleared out of the way. About Eisenhower, heavy starting at Wolf Road. It's 52 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 34. Stevenson, an hour and 12 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 56 minutes from the Tri-State, outbound 40 minutes to 355. Pine is 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. And traffic is a service of Staples with free next-day delivery from Staples. You can run your business like a pro. Go to staples.com for the office essentials you need delivered next day free. On eligible items only and orders over $49.99. Placed by 5 p.m. Excludes weekends and holidays. Staples, it's pro time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. A partly sunny day ahead. Very pleasant, low humidities and a high of 82. Clear and 65 overnight. Tomorrow's sunshine, a little more warm and humid with a high of 89. Currently 64 degrees at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella. Heard each and every Sunday at 8 a.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
No Victocrats allowed. Why? Because we've got a country to save. Join me, Larry Elder, tonight starting at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And so from Facebook Live to Instagram, here we go again. This story about a teenage woman driving drunk, Amy.
Yeah, her name is Abdulia Sanchez, 18 years old. And she was on Instagram, being cool, talking to her boyfriend and to other followers on Instagram. Do you have an Instagram account?
I think I do, but I don't use it.
All right. Well,
I can. Facebook and Twitter is enough.
Right. But on Facebook, you can stream live. But I didn't know that on Instagram, you can stream live until ran into this story yesterday. And, of course, I was horrified and outraged because it involves distracted driving drunk, and streaming live. So this 18-year-old girl had her 14-year-old sister and her friend in the car with her. They're driving down a California highway, and she's Instagramming live to her boyfriend, and she's trying to do different signs to show me like she's cool. She's also had been drinking prior, but then she crashed. And here she is talking to her boyfriend.
Baby, wake up, baby.
I'm sorry, she's saying, baby, wake up, because after the crash, the 14-year-olds were ejected from the car because they weren't wearing their seatbelts. And she went up to her 14-year-old sister and was trying to wake her up and saying, baby, wake up.
Baby, wake up, baby.
So she obviously did not want this to happen. And she kept streaming live, Dan, even after the crash that she caused because of her distracted driving.
This is the last thing I wanted to happen to us, but it just did.
I mean, and her attitude of, not realizing the magnitude of what she just did. She just killed 2 people, and she still cares about the streaming live. I mean, it's this bad behavior that our society is encouraging, because everybody, if you watch any reality TV show, there's always a camera mounted on the dashboard or inside the car so that, you can show them driving, because what people face it, we spend a lot of time in our car. And even that car karaoke with James Gordon, I think, is sending the wrong message. Gordon, excuse me. Did I call him Corky? James Corden.
Yeah.
Yes, even that car karaoke, I think, should not be allowed because it's promoting distracted driving. I mean, you can't focus on the road if you're singing or if you're, crying. You should pull over if you're emotionally upset. Like in a number of these reality TV shows, you should pull over on the side of the road and get yourself together before getting back out on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But this is another example of this. I mean, she didn't even care. There's not any concern in her voice when she killed her sister.
Do you monitor Peyton and Eli's social media posting and usage?
I know that they stream they game a lot. So they're gamers, and they have followers when they game because Andrew's pretty good. Russell could care less. Russell doesn't have an Instagram account or any of that stuff.
I mean,
Andrew does. But I said, well, who's following you? He said, 8 to 10-year-old boys are watching him game because he's a good gamer. So we have a camera on our computer at home where he can play his game and other people can watch him play. And he always says, Mom, watch it. We're live, so be careful. Don't, drop any double hockey sticks.
Clean up your mouth. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. With respect to social media and particularly the live streaming on Facebook Live or Instagram, that the portal doesn't really matter. It's the behavior. Do you pay attention to your kids' social media usage? Do you worry about live streaming like this, or these instances that we've talked about, whether it's the 15-year-old girl that was gang raped on a Facebook Live broadcast allegedly, or the beating of that disabled child that was also on Facebook Live in Chicago,
and the 2-year-old boy who was shot live on Facebook.
An older gentleman who was shot and killed too. I mean, are these one-offs, and the means of broadcasting it really is ancillary to the behavior it captures. It's the behavior. It's not the technology.
But she would have had to. If you watch, I watched the whole video, and it was so gross because they had to marbleize out her sister who was just bloody and she was dead. During the video, she doesn't even have 2 hands on the wheel. She doesn't even have 1 hand on the wheel because the entire time she's showing off for her boyfriend on Instagram Live. And if that wasn't available, she wouldn't have been doing that. I think she would have had at least 1 hand on the wheel. But we're just encouraging this bad behavior. Look at me, society.
Excuse me. She was drunk.
But she was also texting too.
She was drunk. So,
but she wasn't so drunk she could stand up. She looked. She didn't look drunk.
What was her blood alcohol level?
I do not know.
Exactly.
I will find out.
So she was drunk,
using Instagram and not having any hands on the wheel.
Can I get my question out?
Yes, you can.
Instagram caused the accident, so we should get rid of Instagram, like you've argued before about Facebook Live. She was drunk. She's driving impaired. She was charged with DUI. She didn't look drunk. What kind of response is that? She was charged with a DUI in addition to vehicular manslaughter. So should we ban alcohol? Isn't that the logic?
Well, you're not supposed to drink and drive.
And you're not supposed to live stream and not have hands on the wheel with your Instagram account. Should we ban something because it's misused? Is that the philosophy?
I think we should ban this because it encourages bad behavior. And this look at me society where everyone wants
alcohol?
to show off.
What about alcohol?
Well, she shouldn't even been drinking. She's 18. She's not even of the legal age to drink.
You're not answering the question, and I know why, because the logic doesn't hold up. But I ask again, distinguish for me the argument. She misused Instagram, that should be banned. She misused alcohol, that should not be. Tom in Woodstock, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, good morning. I wanted to find out from Amy if she feels that she's at least a bit concerned about her son becoming addicted to gaming.
I am concerned. That's why at 10 o'clock we shut everything down.
In our house, my son is now 20, and I think he's very addicted to gaming. And it's a genuine concern, and I think he's doing poorly in college as a result of all the bandwidth these kids have in their dorm room.
Well, I mean, look, Amy, I think you need to follow the Jacobson household rule. After 10 hours of straight gaming, that's it. You have noon to 10 p.m., and then that's it. Lights out.
No, I make him do things. I commit, go walk the dog, go ride your bike around the block, go run around the block, go play with your friends, play basketball across the street, just to get him off gaming.
Sure, they do that.
Because that's what the kids do. They don't socialize anymore.
And then they play Pokemon Live when they walk out the door.
And then they wake up in the middle of the night on purpose and game with their friends from midnight until 3 o'clock when you're asleep.
Oh, no. But that's the thing, Tom. So we have this system where it shuts down, the internet shuts down at 10 o'clock. So they can't wake up in the middle of the night and start gaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's true. They hate me for it.
Knowing what system that is.
Yeah, it's called Haiti. Thanks for the call, Tom. Appreciate it.
What did Tom say?
He said, "I'd like to know what that system is."
Oh, it's Meraki. It's a system you can buy. We can all do it. It's from Cisco, and you buy it, and you shut down your internet, but that at a certain time, whether it be 10 o'clock at night or midnight.
I played a lot of video games growing up. I went to the arcades. I didn't have friends, right? I still don't. So I still play video games. I still go to the arcades.
Did you play Dungeons and Dragons?
I love Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, I bet you were good at it.
Yeah, I'm a dork. Exactly. Of course I was. And so, you don't have to don't get hysterical about it either. Kids grow out of it. They get other interests. If you see grade suffering or you see manifestations of it, that's one thing.
But he still socializes. He's still on teams, and his straight A's. And I feel I don't want to, breathe down his throat so much that I'm looking, or I want to give him a taste of freedom.
Yeah.
And let him know, it's okay.
You're too busy regulating everybody else's behavior.
Stop it.
Tom in Oswego, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy.
Morning.
I think Dan pointed it out. A common thread among a lot of these things is alcohol. Alcoholic drugs. A lot of these accidents, behavior problems. And I'm a reformed alcoholic, so I know all about these things. And
okay.
I think that's what we need to stress a little bit more with the kids when they're young and teenagers about the responsibility of drinking. Not so much driving without a seatbelt or live streaming or any of that stuff. I think it's the alcohol that's really creating a lot of these problems.
Thanks for the call, Tom. Here's the thing, too. It's worth a little bit of emphasis. Her reaction to trying to, quote-unquote, wake her sister up. I mean, I don't know how hammered she was, but... it
was part of the act.
Well, was it part of the act, or is she dead on the inside? Because the reaction to a horrific crash like that, in which her sister is lying unresponsive before her, and she's, talking to the camera about, if I go to jail, you know why, but I never intended this. What?
Yeah, here you go.
It's bizarre.
This is the last thing I wanted to happen to us, but it just did. Hey, everybody, if I go to jail for life, you already know why. My sister is dying.
Yeah, there's
And she's seen that while her sister's bleeding, like her sister's dead, you can see in her eyes that, she's gone. And there's blood all over her face, and she just was so detached. It was so strange.
Yeah.
It wasn't...
There's something depraved about that piece of the story. There's something really depraved about that reaction to what had just occurred.
And she kept rolling. And she kept talking to the camera. My God, what is wrong with people?
Did she die? Did she dial 911? Who called the police?
She didn't call police. Somebody that saw the accident.
Uh-huh. Mike in
Woodridge. She was too busy Instagramming live, Dad.
Mike in Woodridge.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. I just had a question. Don't you think distracted drivers have been around since the car was invented? The only difference is now, this generation, there's no accountability. You hear in her voice, it just happened.
Yep, not too bad. Didn't mean for it to happen.
Don't you think society has changed in the wrong way? How do we get that accountability back? Thank you. I'll listen to your answer.
Thanks for the call, Mike.
3,562 people died last year from distracted driving. Distracted meaning either doing your nails or eating food or looking at your, emails or texting or whatever.
Yeah, I often almost drive off the road when I'm doing my nails. But here's the thing about the accountability. There is no simple answer to that, Mike. This goes back to, I don't know, what kind of culture do we live in? What do kids see emulated? Excuse me. What do they see extolled? Because what you extol, you beget. So what's the status of the family in 2017 in America? Those are the hard questions, and there's no easy answer to it. You can't pass a law to address what's happening. That's the problem. Ralph and Rantoul.
Yeah, good morning. Things like Facebook Live and whatnot, they just make it easier for people to broadcast their stupidity. But the real stupid part, the central part, was the fact that the gal was driving her vehicle in a state in which she should have probably been parked on her couch, sleeping it off. That's the big problem. And then, hey, Amy, tip: you don't have to pay Cisco or anybody else any extra money. If you go into your router, you can actually program your router. This is like nerd tip for the morning.
I paid somebody to program my router, thank you.
You can just go into your router and just block certain IP addresses or block the internet.
Certain websites,
you
yes.
do that all by yourself. And
okay, condescending, Ralph.
Really creative.
Thanks, Ralph. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Geek Squad, Ralph. I appreciate that.
Are you sure his name isn't Richard? Oh!
Scott in Romeoville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. He's trying to save you and the family some cash.
I already got it done. Turnkey IT, man. Call Turnkey IT.
All right, Scott.
Hey, Dan. So I just wanted to follow, the logic like you said. And if you look at it, there is already a ban, quote unquote, in place for drinking under 18. But then if you continue to follow that logic, what good did it do?
Well, right. Making something illegal doesn't eliminate it. Is this news to anybody? Right? Thanks for the call, Scott. There's this kind of personal quota that you either live by or don't live by. For example, it's technically illegal to drive more than 55 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour on certain roadways.
Oh wait, are you going to?
Do I follow that?
No.
Once in a while.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Unemployment fell in 10 states last month. Bank of America expanding in Dublin as a hedge against the Brexit fallout. State government hiring up nationwide. Those stories next.
If you have unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-804-7445. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-804-7445. 800-804-7445. That's 800-804-7445. Community Tax. Who's your tax guy?
Hiring on the rise in 14 states last month. Unemployment fell in 10. 14 states, led by Nevada, Iowa, and Georgia, reported increases. And North Dakota's unemployment rate plummeted to just 2.3%, a record low dating back to 1976. Bank of America selected Dublin as its new base in the European Union when the UK leaves the EU. CEO Brian Moynihan says Bank of America will be adding thousands of employees to the 700 it already has in Dublin. Economic reports due out today, including the latest figures on existing home sales, an update on private sector production and manufacturing. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Looking to secure financing on a new home? Then you need to do what I did and call David Hochberg to get approved to purchase a home before speaking with a realtor. Other lenders will pre-approve or pre-qualify you, which are worthless, whereas Dave will approve you to purchase a home. David will approve you to purchase a home so you'll know exactly what you can afford. With a Team Hochberg loan approval, your offer will stand out because you'll be able to close within 10 business days of signing a contract. As long as there's no appraisal or title challenge and the condo is if you're purchasing a condo too, a Team Hochberg approval is the next best thing to a cash offer. So submitting a contract with a Team Hochberg loan approval, can I say approval anymore, will stand out from the other offers unless the other buyers have a Team Hochberg approval letter. So to cure your loan approval, call David now, 312-751-1333, or visit am560david.com. David has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but he can't help you if you don't call. 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, 4358 NMLS 19186.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at KelleherBuckley.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. When you think about quality K-12 schools that put kids on a path to being successful, independent adults, do you think of gender-inclusive toolkits, opposition to federal law enforcement, support for the impeachment of the president? If you don't, you probably weren't at the National Education Association's annual meeting. In worldwide rankings, U.S. high school students do not crack the top 20 in either science or reading and have dropped to 35th in math. The response from the nation's largest teachers union is to argue for in-state college tuition for persons in the country illegally and against the U.S.'s quote-unquote illegal overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy in 1893. 159 new business items and nary a one dealing with student performance, classroom instruction, or fiduciary responsibility. The NEA has affiliates in all 50 states. They take over school districts, subordinate intellectual development to political indoctrination, and purchase legislators who fund it all on your dime and at your kid's expense. So when the NEA tells you that their business is making your kid a sentinel of the welfare state, you should believe them and maybe show up to a school board meeting.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
When I heard of Balance of Nature, and I said, because I had prayed, Lord, how am I going to get all this food into me that's so good to me? That's when I called. Now I know that I get my fruits and my vegetables into me, and I don't have to work so hard. I know that I am getting the proper things into my body. I do believe that if I didn't have this already in my body, my Balance of Nature, it wouldn't have gone so good for me. But because my body was healthy, that's what kept me going.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Do you know your bank's fraud tolerance? I'm Ann Dollagall, Treasury Management Executive. At Signature Bank, we have zero tolerance. While some of the big banks may write off smaller incidences of fraud, we use a multi-layered approach to fight fraud before it happens to our customers. There's been a record number of businesses hit with payments fraud this year. Keeping your business assets safe is our top priority. We are trained, and we will train you to recognize potential wire fraud threats and business email compromise scams. Call us today to find out how Signature Bank can work with your business to fight fraud.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All right, that's it. I've had enough of Kim Jong-un. Now he's gone and done it. The Taedonggang Beer Festival, which was scheduled to start tomorrow in North Korea, has been canceled. This means war. We'll discuss North Korea with Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters at 7:07.
And later, your vasectomy party. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, here are the stories we are following this morning on AM 560. The Answer. Governor Rauner calling lawmakers back to the Capitol for a school funding debate. 1 killed, 7 hurt in a Lakeshore Drive crash. Mayor Emanuel facing sharp criticism for using TIF funds on Navy Pier. White Sox beat the Cubs and a partly sunny and pleasant day ahead. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
He woke up and tweeted. And tweeted and tweeted. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump posted 7 messages in less than an hour after the first one seemed to target his own attorney general he referred to yesterday as beleaguered. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, speculation is swirling that President Trump could fire Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The AP reports the president had spoken to advisors about doing just that. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders says it's possible, telling Fox and Friends the president remains upset over Sessions' recusal from the Russia probe.
I think that's a decision that if the president wants to make, he certainly will.
The president went after Sessions on Twitter, saying he's taken a very weak position on what he called Hillary Clinton crimes, asking where are emails in DNC server. Dave.
Rachel, the president also tweeted, this is a big day for health care. The Senate will vote on whether to start debate on a bill open to amendments replacing Obamacare.
Conservatives are getting squat in this bill. Conservatives are getting nothing. There's no promise of a clean repeal vote.
So Rand Paul is a no, but John McCain will be a yes. The Republican will return to vote for the first time since his brain cancer diagnosis. All Democrats oppose the GOP option, saying millions would lose insurance. The president again called the Russia probe a witch hunt and praised his son-in-law, an advisor, writing Jared Kushner did very well, proving there was no collusion. Kushner will privately go before the House Intelligence Committee the day after a trip to the Senate.
The record and documents I have voluntarily provided will show that all of my actions were proper.
But Democratic Senator Ron Wyden calls his statements lawyerly.
It was incomplete. And I think it is extremely important that this witness testify in public.
Israel is removing the metal detectors it put at a holy shrine in Jerusalem after Muslim protests, but a senior Islamic cleric says Muslims should stay away. Israel will install other advanced security in response to a Palestinian attack at that shrine that killed 2 Israeli police officers. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Skies are clear this morning. A beautiful day shaping up weather-wise. 7:02 is our time on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Governor Rauner has summoned lawmakers into special session, try and settle the public education funding issue weeks before school bells are set to ring for the first time. Republican ordering the Senate to report to Springfield Wednesday. This after the Senate missed a noon deadline to send him a school finance plan. An investigation continues following a shooting in South Suburban Country Club Hills. Authorities say 2 were found shot last night in a home in the 2300 block of Provincetown Drive. Both victims remain hospitalized. With 6 killed and 35 others wounded over the weekend, the number of homicides in Chicago continues to outpace last year. There have been 391 homicides, 4 more than last year. Mayor Emanuel facing stiff criticism for using $55 million in TIF funding to renovate Navy Pier. Several aldermen blasted Emanuel yesterday, claiming the mayor's decision to spend the money was never discussed. Governor Rauner defending the house cleaning he's doing in the ranks of his top staff members. AM 560's David Stewart was with the governor yesterday.
The override of Governor Rauner's budget vetoes, he's replaced about a dozen top staffers, many of them longtime Republican aides from previous administrations or previous GOP office holders. Their replacements have frequently come from conservative organizations, including the Illinois Policy Institute. Yet Rauner denies he is making a turn to the right.
Frankly, sometimes we need fresh troops to engage in the battle, and that's what we've done. It's not, it signals no shift or change in my views.
The changes come as Rauner gears up for his re-election fight. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Sox over the Cubs 3-1 at Wrigley Field. Bears getting set to hold the first training camp practices this week. And the news, a service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today. Just $19.99 plus $3 disposal fee for tires, oil service, and repairs. National Tire and Battery, that's all you need. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Do you crave work that matters?
20 years ago, Bob Buford's book, Halftime, took business leaders from success to significance in their work. That book started a movement and the Halftime Institute. Now, from Institute CEO Dean Nawalny comes the next new powerhouse book, Trade Up. Building on Bob's legacy, Trade Up shows marketplace leaders how to not just make money, but make a difference. If the word smoldering discontent describe you, then trade up. Go to halftime.org. That's halftime.org.
Yestival, starring Yes, fresh from their induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, one of the most influential bands of all time. Saturday, August 19th, 7 p.m., Grand Victoria Casino, with performances by Todd Rundgren and Carl Palmer of ELP Legacy, featuring Carl's tribute to Keith Emerson and Greg Lake. Tickets on sale now at gvctickets.com. Part of the Grand Victoria Summer Concert Series. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
7:06. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In East Chicago, northbound Klein Avenue is jammed from Chicago Avenue up to the exit to the casino and steel plant 2. There's road work there. Northbound Klein's down to 1 lane. In Port Barrington, Rawson Bridge remains closed. Robertson, Tuxedo due to flooding. And the other major flood closures in McHenry of River Road between Fernview and McHenry Dam. Eden's 24 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction, outbound 22 to Kennedy, 36 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 33. Inbound Eisenhower, 59 minutes now from Thorndale to the post office, 45 from Manheim, outbound 38 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 13 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 52 minutes. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown, I-57. Bishop Ford, both 28 minutes, I-80 to the merge. Northbound Tri-State, knotted up from 115th to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park. Reagan Tollway slow 53 to 355 at 83 to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial from Belton most of the way to Roosevelt and North Avenue to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here is our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Low humidity today with partial sunshine, high 81, mainly clear night, low 66. Tomorrow, more humid with sun and some clouds, high 88. Then at night, couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm late at night, which could bring flash flooding and damaging winds, low 72. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
66 at O'Hare, 70 along the lakefront. Your next news update at 7:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And so Jared Kushner testified before the Senate Intelligence Committee yesterday, closed-door session. He had released an 11-page statement, essentially providing the four corners of what he was going to address before the Senate Intel Committee. And then he came out and made a speech.
Don't do it.
Made a speech before the assembled media about his testimony and on the pertinent subject of Russian collusion.
Since the first questions were raised in March, I have been consistent in saying that I was eager to share any information I have with the investigating bodies, and I've done so today. The record and documents I have voluntarily provided will show that all of my actions were proper and occurred in the normal course of events of a very unique campaign. Let me be very clear. I did not collude with Russia, nor do I know of anyone else in the campaign who did so. I had no improper contacts. I have not relied on Russian funds for my businesses. And I have been fully transparent in providing all requested information.
That was a strong performance, not as strong as his performance in Yentl.
We used that,
but it was a strong performance nonetheless, and it wasn't didn't include as good of a zinger as Lara Trump got off.
Right.
Lara Trump, Eric Trump's wife, on the issue of Donald Jr. and Jared Kushner. I really commend both of them for the fact that nobody used BleachBit, nobody deleted emails, nobody destroyed cell phones with hammers.
Saying it like it. But Kush, that's what I call him, had a little bit of a zinger at the end.
Donald Trump had a better message and ran a smarter campaign, and that is why he won. Suggesting otherwise ridicules those who voted for him.
Well, that's a point that's actually conceded by a lot of Democrats, including earlier this week, Senate Minority Leader Pagliacci. You know, Hillary Clinton didn't lose because of Russian interference. That's not the same thing to say that Russian attempts to interfere with the election are not serious. They are, but that's not the reason Hillary Clinton lost. She lost, and Schumer ridiculed Hillary Clinton, basically saying, you know, you lose to somebody. Yeah, you lose to somebody with a 40% popularity rating. There's something that you did wrong when there's no evidence to suggest that the Russians were actually successful in manipulating the election results. So, yeah, pretty clear. So the election thing is one thing. The collusion thing, though, is, of course, the central issue, particularly as it relates to that meeting that Kushner was in with the Russian lawyer Veselnitskaya and the Azerbaijani PR, or the flack for the Azerbaijani pop star, and just the
what are
this
his
whole
hits,
bizarro
by the way?
world. Yeah.
The pop stars hits. We'll go over that later.
Yeah, I'll have to go back through my record collection. For more on the topic of Russia, as well as North Korea, we're pleased to be joined by our friend, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, retired U.S. Army officer, columnist, author, and strategic analyst for Fox News Channel. Colonel Peters, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
With respect to Kushner and Trump Jr., and who will be testifying, and Manafort, who will be testifying, is this...
And Roger Stone will be testifying, and Carter Page will be testifying, and Mike Flynn will be testifying.
Right.
And we might even see a situation where the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, is called to testify. And so when you've got Flynn, Page, Stone, Manafort, Kushner, multiple Trumps, all having meetings with the Russians, does it seem like there's a pattern?
Well, those meetings were not all of the same kind. Jeff Sessions, as a sitting United States Senator, meeting with the Russian ambassador to the U.S. is not the same thing as Trump Jr.'s meeting with Veselnitskaya, is it?
But no, the point is, no serious U.S. campaign, I'm leaving out Gus Hall and the American Communist Party, no serious American campaign in our lifetimes has ever had such extensive, apparently intended to be clandestine contacts with the Russians. Why didn't they fess up from the start? Now, my feeling on this is very simple. And by the way, Hillary Clinton, I have no love for Hillary Clinton. She is not president. This issue at bottom is about the Russians attempting to infiltrate the U.S. presidential administration. Now, we don't know if they did or not. There's so much that's not known. If we love this country, Democrat, Republican, or Independent, we should simply want to know beyond a doubt what happened. So my position is very simple. Let the special counsel do his job. And, I am very concerned because we have a president who acts as though he is enthralled to Vladimir Putin, as though he is afraid of Vladimir Putin, a president who will attack our allies but will never say one bad word about Vladimir Putin.
Well, but we heard over the weekend from the White House press secretary that he's going to sign Russian sanctions against Vlad Putin, so that's something.
Well, that's after he fought. The White House fought against these sanctions, fought hard, but they know that they're losing because the system is working. That's the great thing that everybody's missing. This is the way our system is supposed to work: checks and balances.
Right.
And so Congress is pushing these sanctions, the sanctions bill against Russia, and the president, if he's smart, he will sign it. Because if he refuses to sign it, that would seem to be further evidence that he's enthralled somehow to Putin. So I suspect, as a political necessity, he will sign it. But the important thing here is that the mills of our government grind slowly, but they do grind fine in the end. And Congress is acting as a check on presidential power. Ultimately, this may end up at the Supreme Court, which acts as a check on both. And, the president's constant demands for loyalty are not that's Nixon at his absolute worst. At his absolute worst. Nobody in Congress, nobody in our military, nobody on the Supreme Court of the federal judiciary takes an oath of loyalty to a president. Everyone takes an oath to the Constitution of the United States. And whatever our political views, we should treasure and always protect that Constitution. And that the only time we should bow down and bow our heads is to the Constitution, period.
So I'm sure, did you read the 11-page statement that he presented yesterday, Jared Kushner?
Well, at least Kushner let his lawyer read it first. It's carefully worded. And look, Jared Kushner may be totally innocent, but it's hard for me to believe that somebody who's possibly a billionaire, certainly up in the hundreds of millions of dollars, during his busy schedule, would take a meeting with Russians and not have asked basic questions about it. So, look, again.
But he said he didn't know because the email was too long, and he didn't read it.
The email header said it was a meeting with Russians. I mean, so that doesn't hold up. Like, I'm not here to prosecute Jared Kushner or anyone else. My point is simply this. Let the system take its course. And if the president has nothing to hide, then he should welcome Robert Mueller's investigation. Mueller is as respected as anybody can be in Washington, D.C. I mean, he has bipartisan support. Let the investigation go ahead. And if the administration's clean, then everybody's ever said a bad word about it can apologize.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, although, and I get the inartfulness of Trump on so many topics and the quality of his unscripted remarks versus his scripted remarks.
But the Boy Scouts last night, which was a disgrace to our country, where he's actually using the Boy Scouts, 12 years old, trying to, attacking our media, calling fake news. Look, our media, as flawed as it may be, and I get angry at it all the time, our media, the fourth estate as it were, it keeps people honest. And right now, the Washington Post and New York Times, as infuriating as they can be, are doing a great service to our country with their investigative reporting. Wow. And, look, we may not like what they say.
No,
but investigative reporting is critical to this country and to our Constitution.
Yeah, but quality investigative reporting. I mean, let's just kind of pull the reins a little bit here. Jay Sekulow disputed the Washington Post account on Friday, for example, and this is not the first time something like this has happened. That there was any discussion among the Trump legal team about pardons. Now, I don't know what the truth is, but all of the anonymous sourcing in a lot of these investigative reports, New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, that has turned out to be wrong and wildly wrong. That is part of the conversation about the quality of the product that is being, and the trustworthiness of the product being produced by these signature outlets of the D.C. press corps as well. So they are not beyond reproach.
I never said they were.
So, I mean, let's just be clear on that.
They get a lot wrong. But I'm old enough to remember the Watergate investigations. And the Watergate, which ran for years. And the people delving into it, not just Woodward and Bernstein and others, they got some things wrong. By its very nature, the media will get some things wrong. You get it as right as you can. I can tell you, I have made mistakes. I suspect that, both of you have occasionally made mistakes.
No, never. Never.
I make the mistakes.
But that's the nature. We're human beings.
Of course.
Right.
We make mistakes, but you do the best you can. And my point is simply that, do we want a country in which there is not a free media?
No, of course not. Of course
well, no,
not.
but Trump decides if the cameras are going to be on at the White House press briefing or if it's
that's not
audio only.
That's
it's
not the
ridiculous.
same thing as a free media. And
attacking our media, the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts. I mean, come on.
But he also attacked President Obama, too, which I thought was classless. I mean, there's got to be a level of civility, especially when you're talking to 12-year-old boys.
Right. Absolutely. And the same thing about his comments about Mr. Levitt and the the implication of after he made his fortune. Look, it's not all about the money. It's my God, you're speaking to Boy Scouts. It's time to talk about how great our country is. You want to make it better? Fine, that's terrific. But this is a wonderful country, a country of laws, where we all have a chance, where you can be a coal miner's son like I was, and really get ahead in life. And I've traveled so much. I've worked in so many countries, every continent except Antarctica. There's no country like this, and that should have been his message to the Boy Scouts. Yeah. I mean, I just,
it was part of his message.
I was a Boy Scout and a Cub Scout. I was not a very successful one because I was much too interested in Girl Scouts. Nonetheless, I retain the values.
Based on this conversation, you're not going to get your "Make America Great Again" merit badge. I just want you to know.
America is great. America's great right now. America's great every minute of every day. And God, I am so blessed to live in this country, and I wish more of us realized it.
Well, I agree with that. But one of the things, though, just in this discussion, I'm all for what you said. Let's the facts go wherever they go, and people be held accountable for anything that they did wrong. Not a problem. But let's also not be unwilling to accept the evidence or the lack of evidence.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I'm with you 100% on that. Which is why you let the special counsel go. Now, but I've worked with the FBI too. However, I went briefly. Great admiration for them. But people keep saying, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? If Robert Mueller has evidence, he is not going to reveal it until he has an ironclad case. That's not the way the FBI doesn't go to the media and say, oh, look what we just found. It doesn't work like that. We will know what the special counsel found or did not find when they issue either their final report or recommended indictments. And it's going to take time because the FBI works very slowly. This isn't local cops busting a meth dealer. This is a very complex campaign. Treasury agents will be involved as they're looking at money laundering in cases such as Paul Manafort's, tracing money back to Russia. If it's traceable back to Russia, we don't know that yet. And it's going to take time. So the people that say, well, there's no evidence, end the investigation now, that's not how it works. If President Trump were wise and had more self-control, he would just let it go. Let the investigation. Don't talk about it every day. Don't tweet about it every day. Get on with leading this country because he's our president. We should all want him to succeed, but he sidetracks himself.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, he is Colonel Ralph Peters, retired U.S. Army officer, former enlisted man, columnist, author, and strategic analyst for Fox News Channel. Ralph, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
And let's quickly go to John on the South Side. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning. I was really hoping that you would address a little more what Ralph was saying about the speech to the Scouts last night. Not only was he using Boy Scouts as the backdrop for partisan aggressive attacks, but part of his speech, he talked about what he called the interesting life, as he chuckled about his friend who owned a yacht. And it was pretty clear he was talking about his friend Jeffrey Epstein, who's been convicted of soliciting underage prostitutes and settled 40 separate cases of molestation.
We don't know if that. I know exactly what part of the speech you're talking about. We don't know for sure that he's got a lot of friends with yachts.
Absolutely. Oh, no. It's
he does.
Very clear that's who he was
maybe he was referring to Bill Clinton, who's also a Jeffrey Epstein friend, isn't he?
And if Bill Clinton gave a speech where he called Jeffrey Epstein interesting,
well, I don't.
He would be horrified.
Well, I don't know if he was referring to Jeffrey Epstein or not. I assume he has.
No,
actually, John, don't tell me what I know. I don't know.
You are
John,
intentionally pretending you don't know.
No, I'm not. I assume the president has a lot of friends with yachts.
That's what I assume.
It has been reported by several entities, none of which are just the New York Times and Washington Post. It's very clear that's who he was talking about.
So is that your point of contention with the speech last night? Is that with the yacht story?
I have no idea.
No, that is part of it.
At least he
and the Scouts as a partisan backdrop.
Right. I mean, the idea of using children in the context of saying anything that's partisan, this is unique to Trump.
So you're okay with it?
Yeah. Thanks for the call, John. You're a clown, John. You're a clown.
Wow.
No, he is a clown. Yeah, I'm saying he's a clown.
Okay.
So you can disagree, but I'm saying it. This idea that we're going to pretend that every politician invokes everything they do is for the kids. And you're going to tell me him making jokes about Tom Price or him saying, did President Obama ever show up to a jamboree? You're aghast at the partisanship of President Trump's remarks at the Boy Scout jamboree. Oh, the horror of it all. Most of the left, who despises the Boy Scouts anyway until they capitulated on the gay rights agenda. Give me a break. Give me a break. No, I'm not going to get pushed around by Trump making some offhanded comments and having a little fun at the Boy Scouts jamboree and taking a little pot shot at Barack Obama. Give me a break. Grow up.
Barack Obama was a Boy Scout. Trump wasn't a Boy Scout.
Yeah, well,
I just don't like
Barack
that he
Obama
swore.
didn't show up to the Boy Scouts, and Donald Trump did. So, yeah, give me a break. It's just so absurd. Everybody's so morally indignant. People with no moral standards, but they're morally indignant when it comes to Trump talking about to the Boy Scouts. Thankfully, the Boy Scouts are more mature than John on the South Side and his nonsense. Carly in Oak Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I think your guest speaker is exactly wrong about the media. The media needs to be responsible and report the facts. I'm not buying this. Well, they make mistakes sometimes. We all make mistakes. No. The crux of their job is to be accurate and to be honest. And their intentions, as far as what their intentions are even less important, except for the fact that it skews the intent to be accurate. So he is exactly wrong about the media.
Thanks for the call, Carly. I agree with you largely that we know from the evidence. We know from those inside those newsrooms at the Amazon Post and the New York Times that you have, particularly the New York Times, that editors driving a narrative and driving the stories. They all
have an agenda, but not
driving stories that reporters report on because they and discarding those stories that don't fit with the narrative they want to tell.
Right, but not all. I mean, there are a
not
few
all.
Good eggs out there.
Of course there are. Of course there are. And Spicy said that going out the door this weekend as well. Of course there are. But let's also acknowledge what the overall intent, with the overall mission, objective, as stated, as disclosed, believe them when they say it. That's all.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
Does forgetting your password make your blood boil? If technology is supposed to make life easier, then why is it so difficult to log into apps and websites? We're about to simplify your life now by giving you free access to Dashlane, the award-winning app that remembers and protects all of your passwords, making it easy to securely access all of your accounts. Get Dashlane free for life on your favorite device right now by texting PASS to 543-543. Dashlane makes life online blissfully simple, safe, and secure. Trusted by over 7 million users and 6,000 companies. Top-rated in functionality, security, and ease of use. Honored with over 70,000 five-star ratings. Dashlane, where passwords are never lost, never forgotten, and always secure. Unlock free access to Dashlane for life on your favorite device right now by texting PASS to 543-543. After texting, please enjoy a sigh of relief. That's PASS to 543-543.
Hey, you've been bombarded with MyPillow ads everywhere you turn, not only from me, but on TV, billboards, and in print. And the reason is simple. It's the best pillow available. You deserve a restful and relaxing summer. And the July radio deal using my name, Amy, and the promo code is the best deal available. It's the 50% discount on a MyPillow 4-pack, which includes 2 premium MyPillows. And if you're traveling, you'll want this to go anywhere MyPillows, all for half price. Now you can move that patented fill to give you the exact support you need, regardless of sleep position. You will sleep deep and won't wake up to a stiff neck or headache. And our good friend Mike Lindell makes them right here in America using only American labor. You can wash and dry them. They're hypoallergenic, and you'll get the 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So get the 50% off the 4-pack by calling 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy or visit mypillow.com. That's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
For 5 years, I was with this other company, and I tried everything, and it was costing me a fortune. And on top of that, it wasn't working. And I said, ever since I've taken this product, I have kissed that goodbye. Matter of fact, I said, this has been the first winter that I have gone through without a flu or nothing.
Last year, I started on the Balance of Nature. I'm telling you, it really built me up, and it really helped me.
My cholesterol went down. Only after taking it 1 month, I went down 20 points.
I feel better already with it.
I just feel it's made my life more predictable, more useful.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, what will it take for Attorney General Jeff Sessions to resign?
And the British government slow walks Charlie Gard into the grave.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, sunny and 70 in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. President Trump is taking aim at Attorney General Jeff Sessions this morning on social media, tweeting that Sessions has taken a weak position on Hillary Clinton crimes. He also referenced Hillary Clinton's emails, the DNC server, and those leaking intelligence. Senators, including Arizona's John McCain, will vote today on whether to begin debate on a new version of a health insurance reform bill. It's unclear whether Republicans have enough votes to do that right now. Several GOP senators are complaining they don't know exactly what is inside the legislation they're being asked to consider, although it clearly references many parts of an already passed House bill. Senators will decide to open that debate later today, and Vice President Mike Pence says the president is there to help the Senate negotiate a better deal.
President Trump hears you. He is fighting for you, and he will keep fighting every day until we give the American people access to the world-class health care they deserve.
Meantime, the acting director of ICE this morning says to him it's sad that 14 years later people are still being smuggled in the back of tractor trailers. Thomas Homan says when he learned migrants were found dead inside a tractor trailer in San Antonio and 10 were dead, his mind flashed back to 2003 when he worked in San Antonio and 19 immigrants died in the back of a truck there. Governor Rauner summoning lawmakers to Springfield for a special session Wednesday. It's continuing debate on a school funding bill. An investigation last night following a shooting in suburban Country Club Hills has uncovered 2 shot, and both victims, according to police, remain hospitalized. 1 person is dead, 7 others hurt following a crash on Lakeshore Drive near Lawrence Avenue last night. An investigation continues following a crash in Beecher that killed a pregnant mother and her 1-year-old son. Lindsay Schmidt was driving yesterday morning when her car was hit by a pickup that blew a stop sign at Corning Road and Yates Avenue. The mother's 2 other young sons remain hospitalized in critical condition. White Sox beat the Cubs 3-1 at Wrigley Field. The news service of the Ashley Home Store. Ashley Home Store's sale and clearance event ends Monday. Don't miss the $500 million inventory blowout. 24% off, plus 24 months, no interest. Ashley Home Store. This is home. 7:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Home isn't just a place, it's the feeling of knowing you're safe. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Learn more at ADT.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
It takes a lot of courage to face your own death, but I'm glad I finally did. See, I was putting off getting life insurance to protect my family, even though I knew it was important. Then my neighbor's husband died. I watched her struggle emotionally and financially. It really made me face reality. If my husband died, how would I pay the mortgage, the car payments, or keep up the life the kids and I had? I realized I needed to get us life insurance right away. So I called AIG Direct. In less than 5 minutes, I had a quote. I was shocked at how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. I feel so much better knowing my family has protection.
Call AIG Direct right now for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you can save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-900-1904. That's 1-800-900-1904. 1-800-900-1904.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman & Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman & Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
7:35 and a check of the roads is next. In the Alarm Detection System Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the Edens inbound, it's just 20 minutes from Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 29 to Kennedy, now 37 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 20 from Montrose, 17 in the Express. Outbound 42 minutes to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour and 2 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, 46 minutes from Manheim. Outbound now 48 to Thorndale. Inbound Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 47 minutes. Ryan is 28 minutes from 95th to downtown. Tri-State delays are northbound, and they're heavy from 115th to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park. Adams Tollway slow lead at the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway from Raymond to 355 and 83 to the Tri-State. The Veterans Memorial from Boughton most of the way to Roosevelt and North Avenue to 290. And traffic at the service of NTB. Get your 5-quart conventional oil change today, just $19.99 plus $3 disposal fee. For tires, oil, service, and repairs, National Tire and Battery. That's all you need. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Partly sunny, pleasant day ahead. Lower humidities, nice afternoon, high 82, clear and 65 overnight. Currently 66 at O'Hare, 70 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 8. Breaking news as it happens. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs powered by Tandem HR. Heard Sunday evenings at 6.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Let me tell you something. In this world, in this culture today, it's not just O.J. Simpson that can get away with murder. The celebrity standard of justice, it's also central government, because the British government is going to get away with murder, slow-walking Charlie Gard to the grave. That's what they've done after the parents announced yesterday they're going to end their fight to save his life, to get their child back from the state, because according to Hirano, the medical expert from the States that went over to examine Charlie Gard, now that the courts have delayed the ability to treat Charlie Gard with this experimental treatment by this expert in this area of the DNA depletion syndrome that Charlie Gard has, 4 months, now that they've delayed it for 4 months, he is beyond help.
Yeah, and it was a very, I don't know if you saw the press conference yesterday, it was a tearjerker. I mean, it hit to the heart of everyone, I think, around the world when they pretty much blamed the government for their son's pending death.
A whole lot of time has been wasted.
We are now in July, and our poor boy has been left to just lie in hospital for months without any treatment whilst lengthy court battles have been fought. Tragically, having had Charlie's medical notes reviewed by independent experts, we now know, had Charlie been given the treatment sooner, he would have had the potential to be a normal, healthy little boy. Despite his condition in January, Charlie's muscles were in pretty good shape and far from showing irreversible, catastrophic structural brain damage. Dr. Hirano and other experts say his brain scans and EEGs were those of a relatively normal child of his age.
And they went on to discuss, parental rights, and now they have absolutely no parental rights in the UK.
Charlie's been left with his illness to deteriorate devastatingly to the point of no return. This has also never been about parents know best. All we wanted to do was take Charlie from one world-renowned hospital to another world-renowned hospital in the attempt to save his life and to be treated by the world leader in mitochondrial disease. We will have to live with the what-ifs which will haunt us for the rest of our lives.
That's the callousness of the state that so many people ascribe such compassion to their meting out of justice. Compassionate, is that you hear this case and you think that's a compassionate, thoughtful central government? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Wesley Smith writing in National Review, The High Cost of Charlie Gard Coercion. The question of stopping Charlie's life support was a value judgment, not a medical determination. That's important. What the government did was make a value judgment, not a medical determination. The doctors didn't insist on stopping treatment because it was not working, but because it was. Charlie was being kept alive as desired by his parents when the doctors believed it was better for the baby to die sooner rather than later. Value judgment, not a medical determination. UK gives ultimate decisional power in these kind of disputes to doctors. It's an unfortunate consequence of a centrally controlled healthcare system. But make no mistake, writes Wesley Smith, we in the U.S. face a similar push to grant doctors and or hospital bioethics committees the ultimate power to refuse wanted life-sustaining care. We don't have to go down that road, but we're going down that road. And this against the backdrop of the debate over Obamacare and Obamacare Replaced that we're having now, where you have the Democrats and Chuck Schumer telegraphing this over the weekend on the Sunday Talkies with Clinton Foundation Donor Zero, that single payer is on the table if the Democrats get control of the Congress and the White House.
And with single payer, maybe someday it would come to this, where the government decides whether or not your baby stays alive. Or
not maybe.
Or makes the value judgment.
No, it's not maybe. It's inevitable. That's what's going to happen. And again, in this country, we have moves in that direction already at the state level with, quote unquote, the Death with Dignity movement. Laws in Oregon and California and elsewhere.
And before we get to your call, I just wanted, this is the last thing the parents said, their goodbye to their sweet little Charlie.
We are now going to spend our last precious moments with our son Charlie, who unfortunately won't make his first birthday in just under 2 weeks' time. And we would ask that our privacy is respected at this very difficult time. To Charlie, we say, Mummy and Daddy, we love you so much. We always have and we always will, and we are so sorry that we couldn't save you. Sweet dreams, baby. Sleep tight, our beautiful little boy. We love you.
You kill your neighbor and you face justice, as you should. There are consequences. The state kills you, your neighbor, your child, and that's just the amorphous state. Nobody's responsible. Is that what you want to adopt in America? Is that what you want to, I mean, it's already here, but do you want to scale it? Do you want to inculcate it into the American system? Steve in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, I'm a physician. I have to say I am proud of people. I am humbled by the quality of the caring that these parents show, back when the child had a chance, they were pushing to get good therapy, went and got everything set up to make it happen, and found themselves delayed by, as you say, the amorphous state. And now they still continue to act in the child's best interest because the reality that they know is that the child now has gone to a place where the child cannot recover. And the understanding the child's best interest is now right to let nature take its course because things have been delayed so much. But you hear this parent talk about the circumstances within. These parents are not foolish people that aren't making good decisions. They understand exactly what has happened in this entire circumstance, and yet with all of this, they can select the child's best interest and care for the child like this. There's a thing called love, and it's like the intelligentsia think that, well, we know what is technically correct at all places. These people love their child and they work in the child's best interest. Love is an important and a real part of the human experience, and we cannot let a state that will act only in an uncaring, technocratic way make our decisions for us.
Yeah, well, thanks for the call, Dr. Steve. There is no place for love in the technocracy. There's no place for it.
Right. And despite that, though, the parents showed such poise and grace. And really, I mean, it's the mental anguish that they were going through. I can't even imagine, because I'd want to kidnap my baby out of it. It's my baby. I mean, I would try and take my child out of that hospital, but they couldn't even do that.
The compassionate
think about it.
state.
That baby was being held kidnapped in that hospital.
The compassionate state. I want to hear defenders of the big compassionate state that want the big compassionate state to do all the heavy lifting for you, to make all societal ills go away. The big compassionate state. Tell me about it. We defer to it all the time here in this godforsaken state. Of course we do, city, but in this country too. Yeah, the state does that. The state provides welfare, food, shelter, clothing to my brother and my sister. The state's doing it. Big compassionate state. You think it's limited to the Charlie Gard case? Luke in Northbrook, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan, I love your show. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying exactly. Having the government tell us what to do and what not to do is really the issue. Whether or not, overall, whether or not Charlie Gard could have survived, you don't need the government telling you that and them taking care of your own child. And I think that narrative cannot be lost, and you're exactly right. The nanny state, the government telling us what to do, it's already here, and it's already ingrained in our medical, telling doctors what type of criteria they have to do in order to get reimbursed, et cetera, et cetera. I just don't want that part to get lost, that you can't have the government telling you, getting into your home and telling you that you can't even take your child to X, Y, or Z if you want to. And that's the major issue I feel with this whole thing.
Well, thanks for the call, Luke. But that's what we've done. Government is God. That's what the secularism in America is. Government is God. A
lot of people feel that the government's got to save them, whether it be with welfare or with Medicaid. That's what they need.
And you live by the government, and you get Charlie Garded by the government. Jay in Clarendon Hills.
Hey, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. Amy, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do. I think that the Republicans, with this, they were running that commercial, or, back in the day with the healthcare, the Democrats throwing Granny over the cliff.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And I don't want to get explicit here because this beautiful baby has been exploited. But, think about, it's not old people. Now it's young people. It's anybody.
Yeah, you're right.
And the government will and can take your child away, because I was in a situation once a few years ago. I ignorantly brought one of my children into the hospital. I had no idea, and I couldn't get my child back. I mean, I did days later, but I had no control. And my husband and I were frantic, and we pleaded, and the decision was made. And it was just at the suggestion of my doctor that I do this. I had no idea what the outcome was going to be. And I have been through a lot with my one child, and, with illnesses, heart surgeries, everything. I have never been in a situation where I couldn't get I couldn't reach my child, and it was the government that made that choice.
Yep.
So it does happen.
People don't. Yeah.
Thanks for the call,
I don't
Jay.
know the details surrounding her case, but if your child falls down the stair and breaks a bone, you might, and you take that child to the emergency room, you might not get your child back because they question, well, how did he fall or was he pushed or the safety issues at the home? I mean, it was an accident.
Text from 847. The entire case is about who has sovereignty over your life. Yeah. Jack in Clarendon Hills.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Amy. I'm a physician, but you wanted someone to defend the big compassionate state. It is possible that not everybody at the state level was evil in England. It may be that they were looking for the best interests of this child. And if the child was truly suffering and there was no chance for survival, at what point do you continue to allow that child to suffer?
Well, at the point where you have the parents in the pole position with respect to their child's life, number one. Number two, at the point in which you have a renowned expert in the field, and with respect to this particular affliction, say there is an 11 to 56% chance that we could improve and stabilize his condition. I guess that's the point. But
the thing is, he came too late.
But no, he didn't come too late. He absolutely did not come too late. They delayed it and delayed it and delayed it. And here's the other issue. This is the Orwellian name NICE in the UK protecting the system at the expense of that child. And the bottom line is this, Dr. Jack, it goes back to that fundamental question. Who is in first position with respect to the best interest of the child, the parents or the state? I say the parents.
Not in all cases. Sometimes parents aren't always acting in the best interest of the child. But
Yeah.
at the same point,
Yeah.
I have to fight all the time to get stuff approved by insurers that I know is correct, but, it's not like it's all perfect here either.
No, I'm not.
Times that I'm
Yes.
getting denied the ability to care for my patients because of, that's too expensive or it's, quote, experimental. And in this case, this is truly experimental. There weren't even tests on mice.
Well, so so what? They raised the money, and it's their child. The idea that the state can withhold your child from you and prevent you from pursuing an experimental treatment that the preeminent expert in the field says presents a chance is obscene. It's barbaric.
But it took months for that doctor to get there because of all the court
The
cases that
doctor
they had
was
to go.
there. He was testifying in court. It did not take months for him to get there.
Well, then why didn't he get there earlier? Because they
The
wanted to take him to America.
The doctor came there for the
Right.
precise reason that they wouldn't give the child back to the parents to come to America. He came there. He testified that we have an 11 to 56% chance if we pursue this treatment. That was 10 days ago.
Okay.
So if the court would have made the decision, let Hirano treat the kid, then Hirano would have treated the kid. Thanks for the call, Dr. Jack.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Yes, indeed. Summertime. Another hot one. Wait, gonna be a little bit cooler today. Back to hot. Gonna be windy. Maybe a thunderstorm mixed in for good measure. Up and down and up and down. The climate is always changing. Your company's heating and cooling system really gets a workout in Chicagoland. Be ready for anything this summer. Call Air Comfort and get your business's cooling system tuned up and running at peak performance. You see, the Air Comfort problem solvers can find small problems before they become big problems. Plus, proper maintenance will keep your system from wasting energy and money. Air Comfort will make sure your equipment is clean and obstacle-free. And if your chiller is about to or has stopped working, they can install temporary solutions to keep you cool while the long-term fixes are put in place. The key to keep your climate from changing is preventative maintenance, and Air Comfort can help. Schedule a comprehensive assessment of your mechanical system today. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, providing the right climate for business since 1935.
When you purchase an alarm system, you do it for one reason above all others. You need to know something about the people or property under your care. Knowing that what matters most will be looked after by professionals when you can't be there is a comforting feeling. At Alarm Detection Systems, we've learned a great deal from our decades of service. We know how to treat customers on the phone. We know that installing quality security products using certified technicians is the only way to go. We know that same-day service and local monitoring will provide the safety and peace of mind you're looking for. You no longer have to wonder if your home or business is protected by your alarm system. Know that it is. At home or on the go, the information you seek is right in your hands. It's good to be in the know. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. That's 630-844-6300 or online at adsalarm.com. Alarm license number 127000143.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you for free. Call now for details.
Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
If you save $500,000 in an IRA or 401k, you know it's not really $500,000, right? Because you still have to pay taxes on that money. But here's something that will shock you. Some people will pay through the nose in taxes when they withdraw money from their retirement accounts, while a smart and savvy few will legally pay far less. Could you potentially save thousands of dollars in taxes on your IRA or 401k and keep this money for yourself? Yes, you could. Learn how in a free report called 6 Ways to Tax-Free Income in Retirement from me, Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour. The free report could save you tens of thousands of dollars. Call 630-873-6326. It's your choice. Pay the IRS or keep this money for yourself. Call 630-873-6326 or visit us on alphawealthgroup.com. That's alphawealthgroup.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. One of the best things I ever did in my life was buy 2 huge Liberty safes. Now, I love the peace of mind that these safes give me, especially when I'm at work or on vacation. But what made the experience so great is the incredible service you get, and I got from my local Liberty Safe dealer. These guys are amazing. There's so much to like about Liberty Safe, so do what I did. You need a safe. Buy a Liberty Safe today and protect all your valuables, important papers, and, of course, your firearms like never before.
Thanks, Sean. I'm Bert with Second Amendment Sports, here announcing the biggest and best Liberty Safe sale in Chicagoland. It's the Second Amendment Sports Liberty Safe Tent Event, July 29th and 30th. 2 days only for the lowest pricing of the year, 0% financing, and immediate delivery of our huge selection of in-stock safes. Doors open at 9, so get in early. The Second Amendment Sports Liberty Safe Tent Sale in downtown McHenry on Route 120 and 31. Second Amendment Sports. Safety, recreation, protection.
If your roof is needy, if your roof is leaky,
call Grumweedy.
If your roof isn't right after it's stormy and shingles are curly,
call Grumweedy.
If your roof is looking needy, call Crumweedy. This is Mark Olson of Crumweedy.
And I'm Greg Olson from Crumweedy. We are a third-generation family-run business. We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
You really can't do that unless you do really amazing roofs. We share the same conservative values as you, and we really want to do your roof. Here's what you can expect.
First, no high pressure. You make the choice. Whatever option you choose, count on getting a roof that lasts at a fair price.
You see, application is really the key. We follow the manufacturer's specifications so your warranty is intact. You know, a lot of companies don't do that, and that could really void your warranty.
No horror stories here. The roof you need that will fix your problems. When your roof is needy,
call Grumweedy.
For your needy roof, go to myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy talking about the Charlie Gard case, and Dr. Jack from Clarendon Hills He has a point about insurance companies. He has a point about the frailties and the infirmities of our system. But we start with first principles. Are parents primarily responsible for representing the best interests of the children, or is the state? Phil on the Northwest Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Quickly, Phil.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Welcome back, Amy. I just want to say thank God for the show you guys do. I mean it. I'm so sick and tired of the politicians and doctors looking down their nose at everybody. And it's one more reason why God hates pride. When you look at it, where were we when he created the earth? You think about it, you really think about it, these are the Luciferians that run your inside politics. They don't care. And they look down in their nose at humanity, and everybody's less than human for them.
Thanks for the call, Phil.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the Maverick is back. We'll begin there with Ed Henry from Fox News. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, Governor Rauner calling lawmakers back to the Capitol for a school funding debate. White Sox beat the Cubs. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Will the president fire a member of his cabinet? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Right now, Attorney General Sessions is the Attorney General, and I haven't been part of any conversations discussing potential replacements.
But the AP reports President Trump has talked to advisors about the possibility of firing Sessions. Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders says the president remains disappointed Sessions recused himself in the Russia campaign meddling probe he calls a witch hunt.
That frustration certainly hasn't gone away, and I don't think it will.
The president tweeted this morning the Attorney General has been very weak investigating Hillary Clinton's crimes and intelligence leakers. The president's son-in-law and advisor will face more questions this morning in that Russia investigation. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Jared Kushner returns to the Hill today, round 2 on Russia. This time he's going for the House Intelligence Committee. Kushner delivered a statement at the White House after yesterday's session with the Senate Intelligence Committee.
I had no improper contacts. I have not relied on Russian funds for my businesses.
President Trump tweeted this morning that Kushner did well yesterday, proving he did not collude with the Russians. He added, next up, 11-year-old Barron Trump. Dave?
Now, Rachel, in another of the president's 10 tweets this morning, he called Senator John McCain brave and an American hero for returning to the Senate today despite battling brain cancer to vote to proceed to debating a health care bill. But fellow Republican Rand Paul is a no.
I want to vote on a clean repeal, and if I'm given that assurance, I will vote for it. But right now, I've been given no assurance.
GOP leaders said the bill would be open to amendments replacing Obamacare. All Democrats oppose that plan, saying it'll make health insurance worse. California's Democratic Governor Jerry Brown will sign a bill this morning to extend climate change regulation and legislation for 10 more years. California is the only state with a cap-and-trade program to reduce greenhouse gases. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Sunny skies, 66 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Governor Rauner summoning lawmakers into special session this week. Try and settle the issue of public funding of education before school bells are set to ring next month. An investigation continues following a shooting in Country Club Hills. Both victims, according to police, remain hospitalized. They were discovered last night shot in a home in the 2300 block of Provincetown Drive. We're tracking a developing story in Elmhurst this morning where police are searching for an armed robbery suspect. Around 1:30 this morning, police responded to a one-car accident at North and Willow Road. When police arrived, 3 suspects took off between other houses. People in the car were suspects of several overnight armed robberies in Sycamore and Carroll Stream, while 2 of the suspects have been nabbed. A third person in Elmhurst remains on the loose. An investigation continues following a crash in southwest suburban Beecher that killed a pregnant mother and her 1-year-old son. Lindsay Schmidt was driving yesterday morning when her vehicle was hit by a pickup that blew a stop sign. The mother's 2 other young sons remain hospitalized in critical condition. White Sox beat the Cubs 3-1 at Wrigley Field. The news, a service of LifeLock. It's morning, and here's an eye-opener. LifeLock can see more threats to your identity than you can see if you're just monitoring your credit. And if something happens, a U.S.-based specialist can work to fix it. Go to LifeLock.com now. Use promo code RISK to save 10%. 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Jenny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Wall Street's corporate report cards, earnings reports are coming in for major companies. General Motors earnings for the spring quarter were better than expected. GM was dealing with lower car sales and restructuring costs. Its earnings declined, but not to the level expected. Heavy machinery company Caterpillar is reporting strong earnings, an encouraging sign for the global economy because it sells equipment around the world. DuPont is reporting weaker earnings, though its results top forecasts. It was seeing strong demand for products in its agricultural business, and DuPont expects to close its merger with Dow Chemical in August. Handbag maker Michael Kors is buying shoe fashion brand Jimmy Choo. It's paying more than $1 billion for the brand, which charges hundreds to thousands of dollars for its stylish shoes. The Dow is down 66 yesterday. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Don't spend another night worrying about unfiled tax returns or the letters or the calls you're getting from the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, there's actually good news. The IRS has recently enacted changes in the tax law called the Fresh Start Initiative, specifically for troubled taxpayers who owe the IRS. You may be able to settle your entire tax debt for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest, if you qualify. Call Mary Karpowitz of locally owned Comprehensive Tax Solutions for your free consultation. No matter your tax issue, Mary Karpowitz, an enrolled agent and certified tax resolution specialist, will show you the difference between night and day. Quit hiding from the IRS. Call now so you can enjoy what matters most. And don't call a toll-free number to represent you. Call Mary, 708-478-6770, 708-478-6770, or go to resolveyourtaxproblems.com. Call now, 708-478-6770.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
8:07. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. I-80 westbound traffic is stop and go Cherry Hill to Chicago Street with a crash in the left lane. Eastbound, there's a Geepers delay starting at Larkin. Delays on the inbound Eden starting at Elston, but it's just 20 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 31. Kennedy, 47 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 35 from Montrose, 28 in the Express. Outbound 48 minutes to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower, an hour. Thorndale to downtown, 42 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 54 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 14 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 45 minutes. The Rhine is 30 minutes from 95th to the Loop. Tri-State southbound, slow 132 to 176. Northbound from 115th to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park. Reagan Tollway, stop and go Highland to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial from Boughton most of the way to Roosevelt. And North Avenue to 290, southbound 53, slow Rand to Kirchhoff. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, partly sunny with low humidity, high 81. Tonight, mainly clear, low 66. Then tomorrow, more humid with sunshine and some clouds, high 88. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
67 at O'Hare, 70 along the lakefront. Next news, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Fox River Periodontics, Chicagoland specialist with dental implants. To get your smile back, visit implantsforme.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. And before President Trump went to the Boy Scouts Jamboree to hand out the Make America Great Again merit badges, he assembled with victims of Obamacare, as he termed them, as they term themselves, and delivered this message to the United States Senate, mainly directed at Republicans.
They want to forget about the countless Americans they've hurt and the many that they are continuing to hurt every day by refusing to help us replace Obamacare. For the last 7 years, Republicans have been united in standing up for Obamacare's victims. Remember, repeal and replace, repeal and replace. They kept saying it over and over again. Every Republican running for office promised immediate relief from this disastrous law. We as a party must fulfill that solemn promise to the voters of this country to repeal and replace what they've been saying for the last 7 years. But so far, Senate Republicans have not done their job in ending the Obamacare nightmare. They now have a chance, however, to hopefully fix what has been so badly broken for such a long time, and that is through replacement of a horrible disaster known as Obamacare.
A solemn promise that Republicans made to the American people. A Republican president putting his Republican senators on the spot. What will come of that? Mitch McConnell doing the unusual, delving into moving this process forward without exactly knowing the number of votes he has. John McCain coming back today to vote on a procedural motion to open debate on the topic. For more on the topic, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Ed Henry. Ed Henry, who's the chief national correspondent for Fox News Channel, of course. He's also the author of a new book, and he's going to be in town tomorrow at the Cubs-Sox game. The book is 42 Faith, the rest of the Jackie Robinson story. And you're going to be doing a book signing at the Crosstown Classic tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm hoping. I mean, you've got a big game. You got a big crowd. Jerry Reinsdorf, chairman of the White Sox, invited me. You know, he was at Jackie Robinson's first game. You know, he grew up in Flatbush, not in Chicago. And I've got a couple of chapters focused on Jerry. And so, big game, Sox-Cubs, great rivalry. And I'm going to be at Section 158 at Guaranteed Rate Field starting, 6, 7 o'clock as the game gets going, up until about the 7th inning. So come on by, check out 42 Faith. I'll sign it for you. Excited to talk about that and talk about politics with you.
Hey, listen.
That's great, because you're going to the game, Dan.
Well, yeah, listen. So, Ed, I mean, you're the one selling books, not me. I'm in Section 136, so you come down to me.
Oh, my God.
And I'll buy a book. How about that?
I see how you work.
And I'll tell my friends, in my section to also buy the book.
Oh, all right, that's good. I'm coming over. You say Section 136?
136.
Yeah, what row?
Row 13.
All right.
Oh, that's bad luck.
136, row 13.
You got that pencil down? Yeah, okay.
You got the seat number, too? And now we're going to have people stalking you.
Seats 2 and 3.
You want to give out your cell numbers?
Home address.
So make sure you're there.
Yeah,
Even
no.
at the White Sox-Cubs game. Come out, check 42 Faith. It made the New York Times bestseller list a couple weeks back, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, no, I'll have all my thuggish Sox friends there. We'll come over and we'll get some books. Yeah, we'll buy you a beer. So we'll get back to the book, but I want to start off with politics and just kind of this unusual circumstance in the Senate today, especially for a mechanic like McConnell to not know exactly how this is going to play out with his caucus.
Yeah, I mean, he's rolling the dice. I mean, you're right. Mitch McConnell is known as sort of this canny insider who, never rolls the dice, knows exactly how things are going to play out, and that's mostly worked in his career to Republicans' benefit in terms of maneuvering. But in this case, they simply don't know. I mean, I was just hosting Fox and Friends on the Fox News Channel, and we had Sarah Huckabee Sanders on. I asked her the direct question, do the Republicans have the votes? And she said, we're not sure. I mean, that is remarkable for any White House. Remember back in the Obama, Clinton, Bush days, all of those, whether you're Democrat or Republican, you want to know going in, are we going to make this or not? Because if you don't, it's going to be a defeat for the president because, he wants this to happen. But I think in fairness to the president, it's a bigger defeat if it goes down for the House and Senate Republicans. The president just came to town. The House and Senate Republicans, as you know better than anyone, you guys talk about it all the time, have been promising for 7 years, repeal and replace, repeal and replace. Obamacare is terrible, they say. And meanwhile, we're seeing some of that play out. Yes, there are some good parts of Obamacare. It's covered a lot of people who didn't have insurance before. But the exchanges, a lot of them are failing. There's a lot of states where people don't have the kind of choice that was promised by President Obama. People don't get to keep their doctor or keep their plan in every case like the President Obama promised. So long story short, I think they may just get over the hump today because I think the president's closing argument here in West Virginia yesterday is a strong one, which is, look, even if you don't like the bill itself, don't vote against getting a debate. I mean, who's against a debate?
Right.
Obamacare is struggling. Republicans have made these promises. At least have the motion to proceed, because it's not even a vote on the bill. It's a vote on having a debate. What's wrong with a debate?
Do you think that the return of Senator John McCain will energize the Republican Party to actually get something done, maybe?
It very well could. I mean, look, here's a man. Well, there are some in the Republican Party who don't think he's conservative enough. They think he's kind of a rhino, Republican in name only. I would hope that they would keep those insults back now as the man is battling brain cancer. He just had surgery barely a week or so ago, and yet he's traveling to Washington. He's consulted with his doctors, we're told, but they had originally said, the doctors, that it would be weeks before, at best, before he could come back to the Senate. So this is dramatic, and yes, that's one of the reasons why I think there's a shot here to actually get the 50 votes plus Vice President Pence being 51 to get the motion to proceed and at least get to the debate. It doesn't mean victory for Republicans on the actual bill, but it's a big, big first step if they can get it, and I think it's a shot in the arm that a man battling brain cancer is coming across country from Arizona to vote. If he can find the courage to do that, how do other Republicans who have promised the voters for years, not months, years, that they're going to repeal and replace Obamacare, how do they not step up?
Speaking of having the votes, does Attorney General Sessions have the votes inside Trump's inner circle to stay Attorney General?
It's getting brutal. I mean, yesterday the president puts his tweet out saying, my beleaguered attorney general. I've never heard a president of either party describe any cabinet official, frankly, but especially chief law enforcement officer in the land as beleaguered. Then today, more attacks. And what the president was saying was that he's upset in the tweets today that the attorney general has not launched an investigation of Bill and Hillary Clinton. Because he thinks, look, I'm taking all the heat here on Russia when there's allegations that the Ukrainians were trying to infiltrate the Clinton campaign. There's all kinds of allegations about the Clinton Foundation. You've heard that before. I won't bore you with all the details. Bottom line, Anthony Scaramucci, who's a straight talker like the president, the new communications director, just did a radio interview, I'm told, in which he said probably when asked about whether the president wants the attorney general to go, he said, I don't want to speak for the president, to be clear, but said, look, when you've got the president in this much of a dispute with his own attorney general, it's pretty clear to me that if not smoke signals, some kind of signals are being sent. And what Sarah Huckabee Sanders told us on Fox is, this is not a president who sends mixed signals. If he's mad at you, he lets you know. And so there shouldn't be any mystery to these tweets. He's very angry.
Well, there's a little bit of mystery. First of all, by the way, just as an aside, his tweeting about investigating Hillary Clinton is so catastrophically stupid, it's hard for me to fully internalize it. That is grounds for a dismissal where any action taken against Hillary Clinton. I mean, it's executive misconduct. Certainly, a defense attorney could argue that. So, I mean, he shouldn't be essentially trying to direct the Department of Justice publicly in that way.
The Attorney General now does launch an investigation.
Yeah, of course.
The world knows he did it under pressure.
Well, President Trump tweeted, where are the emails in the DNC server and the Intel leakers?
I mean, it's just so unhelpful to his own stated cause. It's a little bit bewildering for me. But with respect to Sessions and all of the sudden he's on the outs. I mean, he recused himself months ago. So it's a pretty slow burn for a guy who doesn't necessarily have a slow burn.
Yeah, well, what's happened is, you're right. I don't disagree with anything you just said, but I think for the president, the slow burn also involves his anger, right? It's been a slow burn where he's now saying, look, the news reports say that Robert Mueller, the special counsel, is expanding his investigation beyond the original mandate in some respects, now looking at the Trump business situation. And so Donald Trump is looking for, somebody to blame. And he's saying, wait a second, why? This all started with the Attorney General recusing himself, and that led to a series of dominoes that led to Robert Mueller, basically. That part is true. I mean, the recusal did lead to Mueller. But on the other hand, in fairness to Jeff Sessions, he's been busting his butt for this president. He was the first senator, a couple years back to actually endorse him. I mean, way back when in terms of loyalty. And number two, as Attorney General, what is he doing? Well, he's standing up on illegal immigration, health care fraud. He's doing his job, in short. And so that's sort of baffling, too, because here's somebody who's actually trying to carry out the president's agenda, and he's getting hammered.
And it seems like it's only a matter of time before he's fired or forced to resign, and then who's going to take his place?
Away, yeah.
Or walks away. Who's going to take his place? I mean, Senator Ted Cruz, is he going to dabble in that, or possibly Rudy Giuliani?
Well, I mean, Rudy Giuliani's thrown out there, right? And then he says no. I mean, but that doesn't really mean anything because, names are bandied about and people saying, I'm not interested. We've seen before that they end up becoming interested, number one. Number two, Rudy Giuliani, it seems to me, would have the same problem as Jeff Sessions, right? I mean, he was involved in the campaign. Wouldn't he have to recuse himself from investigations of Hillary Clinton and or Russia? I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here, but he was potentially more active than Jeff Sessions in the campaign. Rudy Giuliani was very involved. Ted Cruz maybe is interesting because he's more outside the box, not somebody clearly who supported Donald Trump, during the primaries. They were bitter rivals, and so it's sort of like a team of rivals, and maybe you bring some credibility that here's a hard-charging conservative that I didn't get along with in the primaries, and I'm going outside my comfort zone. But bottom line is, I think to Dan's point a moment ago, all of this is a distraction from, I hear Trump allies and voters will hit me on Twitter and say, well, why are you talking about Russia? It's all a distraction. Well, why is the president tweeting about it then?
Yeah,
They'll tell me, why are you not talking about jobs and health care in your reports? Well, why is the president not talking about jobs and health care in all of his tweets? Hey, sure, he tweets about that sometimes, but if you look at his tweets today, there's probably 4 or 5 about Russia and about Hillary Clinton and this and that, and then there might be 1 or 2 on health care. So the president himself is allowing that to become the focus.
Well, and the other point is Rudy Giuliani on this topic. Rudy Giuliani has said Sessions was right to recuse himself.
Right.
Correct.
And the other problem that Trump has is Jeff Sessions has a lot of friends on the Republican caucus in the Senate. He's a well-respected former United States senator. Treating him this way and dispatching him, if that's ultimately what comes, isn't going to build him any political capital on the Hill.
Yeah, and who else will want to take the job? And maybe Rudy Giuliani or someone as a loyalist will. But you're right that also there's a signal being sent. Maybe that people are getting thrown under the bus.
All right, he is Ed Henry, of course, chief national correspondent for Fox News, but he's also an author, 42 Faith, the rest of the Jackie Robinson story. He's doing a book signing tomorrow at the Sox-Cubs game at the G-Spot, as I call it.
Yeah. Section 158. Yeah. But I will be in section 136 during the game to get my free beer and to sell some books.
Seriously, take him up on that offer.
All right, thanks so much, Ed. Appreciate it.
Amy. Thanks, Dan.
Eddie joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
What about your Thursday tickets? Because Peyton and Eli are back from Puerto Rico visiting the home country, and we need some things to do.
I'll have to talk to the gentleman I split my tickets with.
Okay, just see if you can, help out
see if you can
the minorities.
Yeah, poor Lakeview family.
Forecast for today, plenty of sunshine, low humidity, a high of 82 for the second day of a 4-game series with the Cubs, the White Sox. It's at Wrigley Field today at 1:20. You're going to have plenty of sunshine, and then tomorrow, humid, no rain though. That's good. Plenty of sunshine on a high near 90 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Northbound Clyde Avenue is very heavy in East Chicago from Chicago Avenue to Steel Plant 2 and the casino exit there due to the road construction. And there are delays on westbound 8094 from Grant to Klein. Eastbound I-80, we have delays due to a crash. It's heavy from Larkin to Chicago Street on the eastbound side. The crash is westbound at Chicago Street, now on the left shoulder. The westbound delay start at Gauger. The 8 ends 20 minutes. Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 31. Kennedy, 48 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound the same. The Eisenhower, an hour. Thorndale to the post office, outbound 54 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 14 minutes. 3:55 to the drive, outbound 48 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive, southbound, slow Fullerton to North Avenue and 18th to the Stevenson. Northbound Roosevelt to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State, slow 132 to 176. Northbound 115th to 31st. From the Reagan Tollway up to Irving Park. The other tollways are fairly heavy as well. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, our digital platform, which complements what we do each morning on this show. Long-form interviews in our Against the Current series this week with Cook County Board of Review Commissioner Dan Patlack talking about Cook County property taxes. Illinois Rising podcast, that's our show that airs Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves that cover state of Illinois policy and politics. Follow the Logic Man on the Street segments, my 60 seconds to sanity commentaries this week on the NEA, the largest teacher union in the country, as well as 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes of Illinois Opportunity Project, and our new series, Heart of the Matter, which is professional women dialoguing about the salient issues of the day, colleague to colleague. You can check it all at upstream-ideas.com.
Until now, every advisor on the radio seems to be talking about market risk and how to manage it. In retirement, an equally important risk is living too long in poor health. The costs of long-term care and health care in general are rising faster than inflation. At Gibbons Financial, we can help you craft a plan that allows you to maintain and preserve your assets. We work with insurance providers that will pay a death benefit if you never use your long-term care insurance, as well as pay you back up to 80% of your premium if you desire. Don't let a prolonged illness diminish your hard-earned retirement. Allow us to design a plan of care that fits your specific need. Planning on government-based Medicaid is not a plan. Protect your family and assets. Call me, Mike Gibbons, at Gibbons Financial Group today at 224-419-5550. That's 224-419-5550. Call today for your personalized long-term care assessment.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Guarantees are based on the claims-paying ability of the issuing company.
I have actually been on Balance of Nature for a year now. I have MS, and I recently had an MRI. This is the first year that I've had a stable MRI, so I'm thrilled. When I have an MRI with MS, usually there are glowing spots that come through, which is damage on the nerves in my brain and my spinal cord, and when they're glowing, it means they're active. And then my last MRI, they pulled it up, and I honestly couldn't believe that it was my MRI. There was nothing glowing. And in fact, the dark spots were shrinking. They were healing. And the doctor actually said to me, I think we're in remission. I was so happy. I had no idea that that could be my reality.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
It's hard to filter through all the noise. Sorting through healthcare plans for yourself or your business makes your head hurt. Will this plan take care of what you need? Will it fit your budget? Who has the time to shop around? It's a lot to deal with and figure out. The solution to your healthcare plan problems? Summit Solutions. Talk to real people and get answers in simple terms you can understand and negotiate a plan that's right for you. Summit Solutions is an independent advisor with the freedom to custom design solutions and solve your healthcare plan problems. They'll assist and explain not only healthcare to your employees, but also retirement planning. Here's what one of their customers says. Summit Solutions has consistently met or surpassed our expectations. We've never had to consult with any other broker or agent for any type of coverage. They've been an essential component to our success and growth. Call Summit Solutions for a free consultation or analysis of your plan, 773-685-9077, or visit SummitSolutionsUSA.com. Summit Solutions. Insure, invest, retire.
Do you crave work that matters? 20 years ago, Bob Buford's book, Halftime, took business leaders from success to significance in their work. That book started a movement and the Halftime Institute. Now, from Institute CEO Dean Nawalny comes the next new powerhouse book, Trade Up. Building on Bob's legacy, Trade Up shows marketplace leaders how to not just make money, but make a difference. If the word smoldering discontent describe you, then trade up. Go to halftime.org. That's halftime.org.
Yestival, starring Yes, fresh from their induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, one of the most influential bands of all time. Saturday, August 19th, 7 p.m., Grand Victoria Casino, with performances by Todd Rundgren and Carl Palmer of ELP Legacy, featuring Carl's tribute to Keith Emerson and Greg Lake. Tickets on sale now at gvctickets.com. Part of the Grand Victoria Summer Concert Series. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
It's absolutely amazing that the combination of these capsules improves your health. It does tell you the value of food and nutrition.
I actually can feel a difference. I really can.
I love the product. It's wonderful. I can't live without it.
It's really helping me. Every time I take it, my body says, thank you.
This is the first winter that I went through that I didn't get a cold.
I love my fruits and veggies. I'm a line dancer, and I just turned 78, and it has made a big difference in my stamina and just my overall well-being, and I have so enjoyed them. I just love taking them and what they do for me.
Take Dr. Howard's Health Challenge and find out how to get 2 free sets of fruits and veggies. We'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560. The Answer.
Working on my tickets for Thursday?
Yeah. I'll see what I can do for you there.
Sister Soul. Hey, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
These ladies on the South Side are learning how to protect themselves. Ladies of Steel Gun Club. We're going to talk to the founder at 8:38.
And later, part of being a hero is you don't brag about being a hero. We'll explain. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
70 degrees in the Nissan of St. Charles newsroom. Nissan of St. Charles, home of the Lifetime Advantage warranty. Jared Kushner scheduled to testify before the House Intelligence Committee today. After meeting with the Senate yesterday, Kushner says he's being transparent with regards to the Russian investigation.
The record and documents I have voluntarily provided will show that all of my actions were proper and occurred in the normal course of events of a very unique campaign.
The House panel's interview of the president's son-in-law and senior advisors, part of the investigation into Russian election meddling. The deportation of more than 100 Detroit-area Iraqi immigrants is again on hold after a federal judge granted another preliminary injunction. Yesterday's ruling stops any deportations of the Iraqis for 90 days. The suspected driver involved in a Texas human trafficking operation had his day in court on Monday. James Bradley Jr. faced a San Antonio federal judge on transporting illegal immigrant charges. 8 were found dead inside the trailer after being dropped by Bradley outside a Walmart. 2 later died at a nearby hospital. Governor Bruce Rauner summons lawmakers into special session in Springfield to try and settle the public education funding issue just weeks before first school bells are set to ring. An investigation continues following a shooting in Country Club Hills. Police tell us 2 were shot. Both victims are hospitalized. Mayor Emanuel facing sharp criticism for using $55 million in TIF funding to renovate Navy Pier. Cranes and the Better Government Association reported last week that the tax increment financing funds were originally meant to finance a hotel near McCormick Place. Aldermen say that issue was never discussed. More than 100 sculptures of German shepherds are standing guard downtown here in Chicago, paying tribute to the police department's Canine Unit. The public art installation is part of Canines for Cops campaign organized by the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation. In addition to honoring police dogs, the campaign is also a tribute to Chicago police officers who have died and will raise money to back a Paws Chicago animal shelter. The exhibit, similar to the Cows on Parade and other similar art projects that have been elected along Chicago's streets in the past years. Foundation Director Phil Klein says they hope to raise $250,000. White Sox beat the Cubs 3-1 at Wrigley Field. The news service of Staples. With free next-day delivery from Staples, you can run your business like a pro. Go to staples.com for the office essentials you need delivered next day. Free on eligible items only and orders over $49.99. Placed by 5 p.m. Excludes weekends and holidays. Staples. It's pro time. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher can always count on the Democrats.
I'm being told that Donald Trump Jr. took a meeting with a Russian lawyer in which no law was broken. At least the Democrats aren't overreacting. What's this? Senator Tim Kaine?
This is moving into perjury, false statements, and even into potentially treason.
Yep, you can count on the Dems.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Home isn't just a place, it's the feeling of knowing you're safe. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Learn more at ADT.com.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus major components of 20 other home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-2119. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-700-2119. That's 1-800-700-2119. 1-800-700-2119.
It is 8:35. Let's get a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the inbound Kennedy, delays start at Montrose. It's 49 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 39 from Montrose, 32 in the Express, outbound 38 to the airport. Edens, 20 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 29. The Eisenhower's an hour and 2 minutes from Thorndale to the post office, 43 minutes from Manheim, outbound 57 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. Ryan is 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound, slow 21 to Atkinson. Northbound 95th to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park. Adams Tollway jam for the Des Plaines Oasis to the Tri-State, where a crash is cleared. Reagan Tollway delays from Highland to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial, Dalton to the Reagan Tollway, Butterfield to Roosevelt, and North Avenue to 290. Southbound 53, heavy Rand to Kirchhoff. Eastbound I-80, stop and go Larkin to Center Street with a crash in the left lane. Westbound Gauger to Chicago Street, where a crash blocks the left shoulder. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Partly sunny, pleasant day ahead, low humidities, and a high of 82. 68 currently at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show. Tune in on Saturday mornings at 8 to learn how you might fight foreclosure and keep your home.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. And so far this year, 391 homicides. That's 4 more than last year when we had violent crime reach levels not seen in 2 decades. So the carnage continues, and it's particularly located on the south and west sides. I don't know if anybody wants to hold the civilian political leadership of this city responsible, but that's what's happening. And you've got some folks that are making sure they can defend themselves. And that's probably a good idea. It's not probably, it is a good idea. And I saw this story about an interesting development. This is kind of an underreported aspect of the debate and discussion about guns and people's right to protect themselves, the individual right to protect oneself. Ladies of Steel, which is essentially a female gun club on the south side that's founded by this woman, Lynn Dunnigan, who served, I think, about 25 years as a probation officer, and just wanted to. It never carried a gun as a probation officer, according to the reports I've read, but wanted to be able to protect herself, wanted to feel safe, and wanted to demystify guns in terms of being a scary object both for herself and for friends and colleagues and neighbors. And so that's what she's gone about doing, and we're pleased to have Lynn Dunnigan join us now. Lynn, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. You told my story.
Okay. All right. So I got that part right. But so give us a little bit about the genesis of Ladies of Steel. And by the way, I love the name.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me say this. The last 3 years of my career as a federal probation officer, I decided that I wanted to go for the training. I had just recently become divorced from my husband. He is a police officer, and I felt unsafe at home not having a firearm. And like you said, I wanted to demystify this fear I had about firearms. And so what I did, I came up with this business, but before that, I started going to the range, and I never saw another female by herself and never saw a group of females. And after I started going to the range regularly, I went to a gun cleaning class. Didn't see another female. I was the only female in the class. And then, of course, when I would go purchase ammunition, I would be the only female kind of like cruising the aisles, trying to figure this out and navigate the system. So as I started talking to other friends, they said, yeah, I'm afraid of guns as well. And I said, well, if I've gotten to this point where now I'm going to the range by myself and navigating this process, I need to look at how I can help other ladies. So it wasn't just starting the business and having an intro to firearms class and concealed carry. I wanted to make sure that there was a beyond.
Mm-hmm. Well,
the beyond factor is the Ladies of Steel Gun Club.
Yeah. So, Lynn, why do you think so many women are afraid of guns or scared of guns, as you say?
I think it's the lack of education and not knowing. I mean, I used to look at a firearm and think that, it was just going to fire. If it dropped, something would happen. And I really believe that it's because we really just didn't have the regular experience that some people have with firearms and that level of comfort. Some ladies or men or people in general have grown up where they've gone shooting when they were younger or hunting, and that just hasn't been the experience for a lot of my friends and the ladies that have come through the door and said, I just don't know enough about guns.
Right, and guns have been stigmatized because of some political demagogues, many of whom are in the city of Chicago, and become a bit of a political football, and so you associate guns with the numbers I mentioned at the outset, 391 homicides, but But that's the gun is, it'd be cliche, but all cliches are true. The gun is the inanimate object. The person is the issue.
Absolutely.
And so I wonder how what the Ladies of Steel Gun Club, tell us a little bit about how it started to pick up steam and what you ladies do in terms of activities with the club.
Okay, so the idea is that we would come together once a month, and I would invite a speaker, and it would be all things related to a female carrying a firearm. This last month, we had a gentleman to come in, law enforcement officer, to teach us about cleaning and maintaining our firearms. And so the next week, right after we meet, we also go shooting. So we meet up at a gun range, and we go and we practice our shooting and our skills. And so the gun club started out with 8 ladies back in April. That was our first meeting, and now we've grown to 29 as of yesterday. Excuse me. And it's really it's similar to a book club when women come together.
A book club with guns.
Awesome.
Yes, absolutely. And what's really interesting about it is that I found that women do everything else together. We shop, we travel, we go out to dinner, but I've never seen a group of women go into the range other than now my Ladies of Steel Gun Club.
And this is on the south side?
This is on the south side. I'm located at 1447 West 103rd Street. And, of course, in Chicago, we do not have gun ranges, so we have to go patronize the gun ranges in the suburbs. But they've been great, and they've welcomed us, and people are looking and we're turning heads because we're at the range together navigating this process as a team.
Now, do all 20 of you 9 go shooting together? Is there enough room?
Well, what happened is because we just grew, we had to have 2 different meetup days. So we went on Sunday and we went on Monday. And I love going to shoot. So as we grow, if we have to go shooting once a month and it's an entire week and we all split up, then we'll do that. But, yes, we went on Sunday. There were, I believe, 8 of us on Sunday. And then last night, I believe we had 8 or 9.
Are you just doing handguns and indoor ranges? That's what you guys are doing?
Indoor handguns, yes. We're not. We haven't moved to rifles, anything like that. We haven't gotten to that point. Slow and steady.
All right.
And then you also have this Mommy and Me self-defense class?
Yes. So the other piece of my business is it's all encompassing. It's holistic from the standpoint of from youth all the way to seniors when it comes to how do you want to decide to defend yourself. The youth piece is helping the young people understand about respecting life. And that is where I'm going to bring in, develop a partnership with the police so that we can help the young people and get back to officer friendly and help the community and the police figure out what's the best way that we can get along and connect and understand everyone's role. So then moving forward to the teens, I have a self-defense class for young ladies that are going away to college and teens, period, because we know there's domestic violence that's occurring with some teens. And then we have adult, the Mommy and Me class for the teen, from the teen's perspective, for the moms and the young daughters to hear the same message and to be in the class together. And then we have an adult self-defense class as well. So what happens is if someone decides, hey, I want to defend myself, it could either be through learning about a firearm and deciding to have a firearm in their home or go for concealed carry class, or they may decide, they may decide to take the self-defense class as well. And the classes for firearm education, as far as the intro and concealed carry, are open to men and women, but the self-defense classes are all female.
And so this is great. And so, yeah, I'll tell you, I'll just anytime you want to come out to the Aurora Sportsman's Club out there in Waterman, we got outdoor handgun range. We got a sporting clays course. You know, to learn to shoot shotguns is fun.
That's
a 5-stand. We got the rifle. If you guys want to buy some cannons, you can shoot off cannons at the 600-yard
That's a little aggressive,
rifle
Dan.
range.
Right.
You know, I mean, we need to prepare for, you know, the takeover. No, I'm just kidding. But it's great that you're doing that. I wonder what the reaction is like within your extended membership right now, like their families seeing their moms and daughters and sisters participate in this and go through the same process that you did.
Oh, it's been great. I mean, my business is increasing, which is great. I'm seeing repeat customers sending in their kids or their cousins. And, you know, because I always ask, well, how did you hear about me? And then they'll say, oh, such and such told me on my Facebook page. I'm growing. I have over 500 followers and likes. So I can tell, and I don't know all these people, so I can tell that people are spreading the word. And just this past 2 weeks ago, one of the ladies in the concealed carry class, her husband was in a previous class. He brought her to the class, and he came to see her qualify. So it's becoming a family effort, and I really pray and hope that down the road we get to the point where we start bringing our daughters to the range, because in the African-American community, you just don't see us at the range.
Yeah.
Period. And then you really don't see us with our children. And so I want to get to that point. My daughter's in college. She's going into law enforcement. And she's going to get to that point soon where she starts going to the range and learning this same thing. But if I had started this long time ago, she would be ready.
And you feel safer now that you're at home alone?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
I carry my firearm. I'm retired law enforcement, so obviously I carry my firearm, and I'm legal. So I do. I feel much safer. But the reality is, I'm not. That's not your first line of defense either, just because you have a firearm.
Right. Yeah.
So
I
just want that to be clear.
Yeah, but also don't mess with Lynn.
Yeah.
Let's also make that clear.
Make that very clear.
And I wonder if you think too, and your group members, if you think that ultimately with enough critical mass, that this will help to improve peace on the streets and some of the neighborhoods on the south and west sides.
I think it will. And one thing I think will happen is that parents will start securing their firearms and keeping these kids safe at home when they do have firearms, because that's what we're promoting and that's what we're teaching. I also think what may happen, and I really do hope it happens, because my entire mission is firearm education. The bad guys are the ones that have the guns and do not know how to shoot. I'm not trying to teach them how to shoot. So let's be clear about that. But my prayer really is that as the bad guys see that more good people are arming themselves and trying to defend themselves, that they'll stand down. Now, that's maybe being a little idealistic, but as more and more people start defending themselves, I think, just like in the states that have open carry, I think if someone comes into a 7-Eleven and they know, oh, maybe everybody in here could have a gun on them, or they see a gun, maybe that person would back down.
Yeah, and And in the unexpected, I mean, one story I read about your club, Ladies of Steel, 71-year-old Marietta Crowder.
Yes.
She's one of your members?
Yes, and we have another lady. I'm not going to mention her name, but she's closer to 80, and she was with us last night when we were shooting. And it is just a nice, wide variety of ladies from all different professions. And the club is not just open to African-American women. It's just that has been the primary focus at this point.
Yeah.
Because so many of us have been afraid of guns. And I will say this, and this is no offense to non-black women, but when I've met white women out and I tell them or they hear about me, they're like, yes, firearms. And it's a very different reaction. But in my community, I have to convince us why we need to understand about firearms and that it's not something that's but I understand it because I was there. And that's why my story, I believe, is so compelling, and my friends understand, or the people that meet me, because I used to be afraid of firearms, and here I am carrying a firearm every day and helping them to understand that this is not it's not a simple task, and we're not making this cute or anything like that. This is serious, but we want them to understand you can do this if it's something you choose to do.
Yeah, stop her. 71-year-old Marietta Crowder will
Absolutely.
shoot. All right, she is Lynn Dunnigan. She's the owner of JMD Defense and Investigations, the founder of Ladies of Steel Gun Club on the South Side. And Lynn, if people want to get more information about your gun club, where do they go?
My website is www.jmddefense.com. I'm on Facebook at JMD Defense, and the phone number here is 773-614-8747. And please stop in Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We're here at 1447 West 103rd Street. And the last thing I would like to say is we are specializing in small class sizes. Our class sizes are no larger than 12 because we want you to have an individual, personalized experience. So when you leave out, we know that you've asked questions and that you've gotten your questions answered.
All right, Amy's going to be right down after the show. Lynn Dunnigan, jmddefense.com, Ladies of Steel Gun Club. Lynn, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
And thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Plenty of sunshine today. A high of 82 degrees for the Crosstown Classic at Wrigley Field at 120. And then tomorrow, sunshine, some clouds, more humid, a high near 90 degrees, and a chance of rain on Thursday morning. That'll be nice. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Inbound Kennedy, it's stop and go from Montrose to the Hubbard Tunnel. 49 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 39 from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound 32 to the airport. Edens is fine inbound. Outbound, get about a 7-minute delay. Toohey to Willow. Mount Eisenhower, 58 minutes. Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 44. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40 minutes. The Rhine is 30 minutes from 95th to the Loop. Southbound Tri-State heavy 21 to Atkinson. Northbound from the Stevenson to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to Irving Park. Adams Tollway stop and go Elmhurst Road to the Tri-State after a crash. Reagan Tollway slow Highland to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial, the 75th to the Reagan Tollway. Roosevelt to 290. Southbound 53 slow Rand to Kirchhoff. Northwest Indiana is now fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, how would you like to have insurance for your computer network, something to protect your hardware and software and give you peace of mind? Well, using Turnkey IT for installation and support of your systems is like having insurance for your computer network. There's an affordable monthly payment that your company, with it, they get a full team of certified technicians who are there for you. They work in the background to ensure your systems are up and running. They'll help you over the phone and make house calls to your workplace, and they don't wait until there's an emergency call. Turnkey IT works hard to take preventative measures to keep your network secure, backed up and running nonstop. So Turnkey IT can protect your network with the Turnkey experience. This is it. There's Office 365 hosting, advanced network protection, cloud backup, disaster recovery, and unlimited remote and on-site support. So find out what Turnkey IT can do for your company today. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving. Did you know your organization's logo can do far more than you think?
Your logo carried my clothes to the gym.
Your logo kept my coffee warm all morning. Your logo charged my phone last night.
When the highly trained team at 4imprint put your logo on things people actually use, you'll be amazed at how powerful your logo can be. Not only will we unleash the full power of your logo, we'll show you the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers absolutely free. Text TEAM to 642-642 now. Every time your customers enjoy one of our promotional items with your logo, they'll think of you. Plus, with free art assistance, we'll make every item look fantastic for a great price. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Your logo keeps my laptop safe.
Your logo keeps me dry. Attract new customers, reward employees, and make a lasting impression. Discover the top 3 promotional items for free. Text TEAM to 642-642. That's TEAM to 642-642.
Hello, this is financial advisor Dale Bradley speaking to you from the Bradley Investment Center in Evanston. Have you ever made an investment through one of those large national brokerage firms? Have you ever felt like just a number? Well, at Bradley Investment Center, our goal is not to be the largest practice. It's simply to be the best by establishing and keeping true personal relationships. Visit us at BradleyInvestmentCenter.com. That's BradleyInvestmentCenter.com. Or better yet, stop by and say hello. We are at the corner of Central and Central Park in beautiful Northwest Evanston. We strive to be the center of all your family's investment needs. For more information, call the Bradley Investment Center at 855-940-8700. That's 855-940-8700.
Bradley Investment Center. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc. Bradley Investment Center is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. And it's about to get worse. The IRS just hired an army of new tax enforcers. So, if you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. Optima has access to a special IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop that army of new enforcers from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A-rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $500 million of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. Call now for your free consultation.
Call 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Jeff from Basement Flood Protector. Finishing a basement requires a tremendous amount of time and money, transforming concrete walls into living space better suited for children playing, friends watching football, or just hanging out. But how many of you made the investment in a sump pump system that ensures the protection of your new living space in the event of heavy rains, mechanical failures, and power outages? You went from concrete to carpet, maybe concrete to hardwood, and in the event of a flood, you're going to go from squeegee to replacing floors. However, by joining our network of 25,000 customers, you will enjoy the same peace of mind knowing your basement is safe regardless of weather conditions because of early warning mechanisms and simply having equipment that just works as expected. We are Basement Flood Protector. Protecting homes from flooding is all we do. I invite you to call today at 800-238-0822 or visit don'tflood.com to learn more and for no-nonsense pricing. That's 800-238-0822 or don'tflood.com. Use the call letters of this station for a 5% discount.
Message and data rates may apply.
Have you ever forgotten your password? With all the accounts you have and all the rules around passwords, remembering every single one is impossible. That's why millions of people are turning to Dashlane, the award-winning app that protects your passwords and creates an easy, secure way to access all of your accounts. And right now, you can get access to Dashlane free for life on your favorite device just by texting SECURE to 543-543. Over 6 million users manage their passwords with Dashlane. Over 6,000 companies trust Dashlane. And over 70,000 reviews give it a 5-star rating. But the only number that really matters? 0. Because that's how many times you'll forget your passwords using Dashlane. With Dashlane, your passwords are never misplaced and never forgotten. Simple, safe, secure. Unlock free access to Dashlane on your favorite device for life right now. Just text SECURE to 543-543. That's SECURE to 543-543.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, per our interview with Lynn Dunnigan, Amish texter saying, let me know when they have a Ladies of Steel Match.com group.
Oh,
nice. Amish texter. Cynthia in Frankfurt, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, hi. I just wanted to tell you guys that I do have a concealed carry permit. I'm an older lady, and my kids call me Granny Oakley.
Oh, that's cute.
I love it. Thanks for the call, Cynthia. You're an older lady, Amy. You could get a concealed carry license, too.
It's never too late. Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. We're back here at 5 a.m. Now into the newsroom we go to say hello once again to the one and only Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, here are the stories we're watching right now. Jared Kushner is scheduled to testify before the House Intelligence Committee today. Fox News with the latest on that developing story. A third Chicago man due in court later today following the shooting of a local police officer, and police are searching for an armed robbery suspect in Elmhurst. 8 northern Illinois counties are added to the flood disaster list, and the White Sox beat the Cubs. WIND Chicago news time is 9 o'clock.